other settings.
And that video loop is only about a minute long, so don't feel bad about interrupting it later.
Got it. Thank you.
You don't have to wait for it to be at a certain place.
Whoa. Okay, that scene's up. I think everything looks good on our end. Just going to do a final double check to make sure I have no windows in the way, like all my notes, like last week. That was very embarrassing.
You did really well last week. We
Thank
were
you.
all
so good.
I really appreciate it.
We were all a little frazzled. But
we put together a whole campaign in a week, so I think that's a win.
That's, looking at it that way, that's a very good point. We did really just launch right into this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did not even stop and consider things. We just did it.
We were just like, yep, we're doing this. Okay, let's go.
We got great for one more week. We're not losing out.
And I think that means we are live. Let me do one final check to make sure that's correct. Yes, we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Awakened Pixels, our second episode playing Fate Accelerated in a old school RPG video game. My name is Thomas. I will be the game master tonight, and these are amazing players. Say hello, everybody. With special guest Abby. Welcome, Abby. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on. And I look forward for the little 16-bit adventures we get up to with you on board.
I'm so excited.
All right, so let's dive right in, shall we? To episode 2. Very quick though. Slight content warning. For this episode, there may be some sort of zany blood and gore. It's mostly just going to be silly and over the top, but if you do have an issue with that, be forewarned. Maybe colorful descriptions of gore a couple of times, but I promise it won't be too bad, but just in case, there's a heads up. Alright, so we begin sweeping across the blasted wastes of the Blightlands. There is a spiked fortress that stands in a foreboding silhouette atop a sinister peak. Starting off strong. This is the Doomhold, the foul, beating heart of the forces of chaos. In a grand throne room that overlooks the lands of Phantasria, the vile lord receives some bad news. He sits upon his throne, looking aghast, and he says, "So let me ensure I've got this right. Your war party was to smash their way into Elfwood, then make off with the Oracle. However, not only did you fail to obtain the Oracle, but most of your war party was obliterated in what seems to be a humiliating defeat. Is there anything I'm missing? And you can see that there is a group of bedraggled soldiers that stand sort of imposed by this throne. And their captain, a woman with a fresh scar across the eye, sort of winces as she speaks up. And she says, "It was unlike anything I've ever seen, your vileness. After you performed your wicked spell that breached the elves' defenses, it was a simple matter to distract them while making off the Oracle, but the princess was there, with a fairy and a dog on a skateboard. They fought a fierce battle against us and forced us to retreat." Excuse me? Princess Kiwi is little more than a mannequin in a dress. But now, not only has Tinsel, my loyal and top enforcer, failed to apprehend her, but also you're telling me that she now leads some sort of adorable fighting group? The captain says, "She was a force of nature, my lord. 2 blades glistening with the pixelated blood of our warriors. If Princess Kiwi thinks she can start some sort of rebellion, I will hurl her useless parents from the highest parapet of Doomhold. But regardless, you have failed me, and there is a price for failure." And you can see the vile lord reaches at a lever that is conveniently located in the armrest of his vile throne, and as he does, there is a whooshing sound as underneath the feet of these minions, trapdoors swing open, and all of them fall into a tunnel, plunging into a bottomless dark abyss, their screams echoing until they are heard of no more. Everybody, that is, for the captain. The vile lord stands and walks down to the captain, the only one left of this war party now, and he says, "I sent you because Elfwood is a notoriously low-level area of Phantasria. You should have been able to handle it, maybe get a little XP under your belt in the process. But hear my words. The only reason you're standing is because you have this cool scar now, which makes you rather distinct from the legions of my other captains. But fail me again, and there is no amount of badass cosmetic distinctiveness that will save you. Have I made myself clear?" The captain bows her head low, and she says, "Yes, my lord." "Out of my sight!" And the captain, with her head still down, spins around, leaves the throne room, and massive iron doors slam as she exits. The vile lord then seems to relax a little bit, detense, and he says, "What an awful past few days this has been. No doubt the elves are hiding away with their fancy little elf magic, which means the Oracle is now out of my reach." And the wicked witch, who stands always at the side of the vile lord's throne, speaks up. And she says, "Your wretchedness, there was something unusual in your minion's report." He says, "What? The princess, you mean? She might think this is a game, but her naivete will be her downfall soon enough, mark my words. I've captured her before and I can do it again." "No, my lord. The captain said that your wicked spell breached the elves' defenses, but neither you nor I possess the capacity for such a spell. Certainly not at this distance." What? What do you mean? What are you talking about?" "We've been hearing similar reports across the land. Something very terrible is happening, and it is not because of us." "I do not care about terrible things. I love terrible things. What I care about is finding those light-sworn heroes. Our only lead is the princess. I want her and all she associates with brought before me at once. Do you hear me? At once!" Stoobs, what adorable thing are you doing right now?
Running in my sleep.
Okay, we cut to an adorable pixelated corgi lying on the ground and just running with the little stumpy legs, and it is the cutest, most adorable thing ever. Rosalind, you are there too. What are you doing? Oh, you might be
You're
muted.
Oh, well, I guess we're sleeping. So, I've been dreaming again about my siblings, and we're all together, and we're having a tea party, and it's just a nice time.
That's really nice. Yeah, you kind of you took a moment to rest, to both get some of your stats back up again, and to recuperate from the last day you had at Elfwood, where things really went off the handle a little bit. But you got some vital information from the Oracle. Maybe you've taken some time to sort of digest on that and see what it means. You know that the next place that you need to go for the safety of this world that you live in, and for the safety of the fairies from your home as well, Rosalind. The first place you need to go to is Hammerton, the dwarf town, which is located conveniently close by, actually. You were told to head north. So you wake up in the morning, a beautiful pixelated sun illuminates the sky, and you awaken to a sort of fairly serene forest. It seems like at the very least the elves afforded a bit of magic to keep you safe during these times, so you had no random encounters during the night.
Morning.
Morning! Gosh, I love that we're in a forest. It's so much prettier. Look at all the trees, look at all the grass, look at all the flowers.
It's definitely nice to sleep in a forest instead of a cave. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's not go into more caves.
We can stay away from them when we can.
That'll
It'll
be
fine.
nice.
We'll be
I
fine.
don't know why the heroes were so into caves, but they went to a lot of them and they're really gross.
I don't think they smell very good. You know, it's just everything gets trapped in there and it's always bad smells. I don't know.
Have you been seeing stuff when you sleep now?
I mean, I was running through a field of bouncing tennis balls.
Whoa.
It was amazing.
Wow.
They
Maybe
were
we could go
bacon
to another
flavored.
world when we sleep. And you went to the tennis ball world.
Yeah, I think they're called dreams.
Oh, like
What?
my flower. My flower is called Indigo Dream. I got it from the elves.
Oh.
Oh.
Hmm.
Dreams are cool. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
As part of this rest and these dreams that you have, slowly revealing more and more of life to you, you both gain restore your fate points, so you're back at 3 each. And you're ready to travel on to Hammerton at your leisure.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so you get up.
This.
The elven blade that was left to you by Bane, aka Princess Kiwi, in one of your inventories. Who is currently holding it?
Does it take up one slot, or
It
is
takes
it
up
like
one
something
slot, and you both have
Okay.
3 slots.
I have
Okay.
a flower. You have a
that
skateboard.
skateboard?
I guess I probably makes the most sense for me to hold it since I do have thumbs.
Yes, you can actually hold it and use it occasionally.
Okay.
Occasionally.
So Rosalind,
Alright.
you pop the elven blade into your inventory, and you both set out. And as you're walking through the verdant forest, heading ever northward, using the sun to keep a track of where you need to go, there are of course some random encounters here and there. These things are beneath you, a few slimes, a few small, very aggressive critters, many things you can just scare off. Some things fight you to the death. And as you continue on, when you go unimpeded for a short while, there's suddenly this very strange sensation that overcomes the two of you, and it's the sensation of everything around you getting smaller. Rosalind, you are not necessarily this is not a unfamiliar concept to you because due to poor sprite work, your size often changes depending on where you are. However, this time it is different, and it is happening to the two of you. And in fact, you feel like everything around you is just shrinking. Then you realize nothing is shrinking. You're both growing. At an alarming rate. What's more, the land that you see is getting more and more simplified as you grow, and suddenly you find that you have unlocked the power of overworld travel. And now large versions of yourself are kind of just stomping across the landscape, leaving no damage in your wake, but allowing you to sort of see your immediate surroundings and navigate at your leisure. This has never happened to you before.
No. Rosalind, you change sides occasionally. So, what's happening?
No, this is not it. I change size. The world doesn't go small. That's just a very different thing here. Also, I can't move as much. Why do can I only go like this?
There's only one walking animation for this, and I don't know why.
When will it stop?
I try to move as carefully as possible.
Okay, you take, ginger steps as you move, and for the most part, it doesn't seem to change a whole lot of things. You travel at a very constant speed, no matter what you're really trying to do. But you are unimpeded by foul forces of chaos at the very least.
This isn't bad.
You know what? I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
here for it
peaceful.
now.
And you feel triumphant. You don't know why, but there's a very triumphant feel in the air. Okay, you continue northward, and you can actually see up ahead, oh, there are some mountains right there. They don't look like much from your current vantage, but you hope that once you arrive, if that's a thing you even know how to do, that things will sort of resume into the focus you're used to, and detail will be restored. And as you go northward towards the mountain, you feel like it gets a little bit colder, nothing too bad. There are no real frost caps on these peaks, but it is a little more chilly. And you see that there is a small road that you are currently both just stomping down that leads to a grand staircase that is carved into the side of this mountain. And it goes up extremely high, disappearing into some very low clouds. And as you approach that, it looks like a few easy steps for you to get up until you see that the closer you get, the more you shrink, until you arrive at the very base of the stairs, back to your normal size, and realize you have a long, arduous climb ahead of you.
That's inconvenient.
Oh. Forking heck. Okay. Alright.
Rated T for teen.
Well, you are the steed. I'll leave this to you.
Okay.
Alright.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
You can almost hear the Oracle's voice in your mind as you start moving upwards. So Rosalind, you mount the brave and forever vigilant Stoobs, and you start just hopping up one stair after the other. It looks so adorable. Your tiny little corgi legs just going up and up and up and up. It's not particularly tiring, but it does take a bit of a while. Your ears pop.
Go,
That's
go,
never happened
go,
before.
Go, 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 go.
Just like boing, boing.
There is a very adorable sound to your hops. Just boink, 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 boink. Eventually, you climb up this staircase until you emerge through the clouds and now see just beautiful, perfect blue sky above you, and still some very large peaks around as well. They sort of spiral extremely high into the sky. There's still a long way to go. But before you, you can see that there is some sort of metallic cage sitting at the top of these stairs that is suspended by some ropes. And there is a little sign just in front of it. And the sign reads, "Welcome to Hammerton. Yell into the horn for service." And you see that next to this little cage, there's a sort of brass horn that has a bell next to it as well.
Well, I'm going to have to be tall to yell into that horn. How tall am I at the moment?
However much you would like to be, but if you were just on Stoops' back, probably kind of small.
I'm very small. I guess I'll have to roll to see if I can grow.
All right, let's see it. What are you rolling to grow for this? Is this well, you're trying to solve a problem, so maybe. Oh, it could be flashy. You're growing. You're making a grand entrance.
Yeah, it's super flashy to get bigger.
All right, so you're flashily growing. Since this is your character's glitch, I'm also going to roll a die to add to the instability.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Ooh,
It's
and
one of my things too. So is there something for that? Because it's one of inconsistent sizing is one of my.
an aspect. Only if you want to add any. Only if you want to modify the roll once you see the roll.
Okay.
Which, with a 5, you can grow to any size you would like.
Cool. I'm gonna be human sized.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick up the horn and see if it lets me use it.
It's just a. There's no sort of. It's just a long tube that extends high up into the sky.
Oh, like, oh god, there's probably a specific name for it, but like
Like
the
cans on a string kind of
alpine
thing.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Thomas, I think our cameras are messed up on the overlay.
Of course they are.
I'm sorry.
Apologies, everyone.
I'm Nevi now.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
dang! Congrats! Who am I?
Are you all literally in the exact wrong place?
Oh, I get it, Katie. Oh, I'm so smart.
Oh,
now.
yeah, I'm
That's
Adeline.
hilarious. All right, everybody, give me 2 minutes, and I'll sort
I'm
this out
sorry.
immediately. No, thank you for letting me know early on because I would have not known the entire time. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. All right. Okay, I think that means we're back, everybody. Sorry about the delay. But hey, everybody should be playing the character they're meant to be playing right now.
Yay!
Alright, so where were we? Yes, you were just getting ready. You just adjusted your size, Rosalind, so that you could talk on the brass horn in front of you. And you're now human size. You're able to speak into it. What do you say?
Hi.
You hear a sound from the other side go, "Ah, God darn it!" Who goes there? Who is this? You have the lungs of a dwarf.
And Stoops, can we come inside?
Sorry, who?
Rosalind and Stoops, can we come inside?
Hamilton isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Please leave whatever merchant wares you have in the lift and be on your way.
Oh. Stoops, they're not gonna let us in.
Oh, no one's letting us in.
Did you say please?
Okay, I'll try that. Please?
Well, you certainly have manners, but I'm afraid manners aren't going to overcome the dwarven law that has been thrown down that says that in a time of crisis, we must be locked down and none can come in and none can go out.
But the Oracle said to come over here.
Oh, some fancy elf told you to come here. I don't care.
Ask him what the emergency is.
Oh, okay. What's your emergency?
The Mountain King is having a few problems to do with some sort of collective consciousness awakening among the populace. And that's all I am able to say.
Yeah, I know about that. We know about that.
Is he freaking out because he doesn't have a name?
Are you worried because you don't have a name, or you have a name and it's someone else's name?
It sounds like you're trying to extract a lot of information out of me, which suggests you might be spies for the forces of chaos.
No, my color scheme is pink. I can't be.
So you say. I can't see it, though, so how do I know?
Thank you, Sparky.
Tell him that you're.
Oh,
we are looking for the
yeah,
White Swan
I'm
heroes
the
and
second
stuff.
to the hero. I'm not a bad guy.
How am I supposed to verify that? You could be anybody and say anything. Nope, we're gonna have to keep you down there.
I can wake someone who's sleeping and do a dance. That's normally what I do. Or if you're poisoned, I can make you
I can do all of those things as a dwarf. Absolutely not! You could be some horrible assassins or evil sorcerers. We're gonna keep you right down there. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Toodaloo.
You were very nice.
Ah.
Slam the horn down. Well,
If I stand on my hind legs, can I reach the horn?
I mean, Rosalind is right there to help you up,
Okay.
because the answer would be no. Otherwise.
Okay. Give me a leg up here. Let me talk to him. Hello?
Ah! Alright, who's this?
This is Stoobs.
Oh, it's still you two. Get out of here. I already
I'm
said.
a dog.
That's new.
Yeah. So listen, we're going through a lot, and I'm thinking maybe we can help each other here, okay?
Listen, the law is clear. Why don't you go ahead and roll, let's see, what would this be? It's almost forceful. It's almost clever, so I'll let you choose between those two.
Let's see. Let's go with clever. That's a 1.
Okay. You hear the dwarf, says, "You're a dog? You're a tiny wee little dog?"
I'm a corgi with tiny legs, okay? I understand how things work.
I don't know who's trying to prank me right now, but I don't appreciate it. Be gone.
I
I don't
bark
think we're
into
gonna get
the...
inside Dwarf Town.
You look at the slope, and the cage and the suspended ropes and everything. If you wanted to get up there, you could probably try. It would just be difficult. So, You could try any
Can
manner
we
of things.
fit? Can we fit in this thing?
You can fit like in the it's an elevator essentially. So it's
Okay.
big enough to fit like merchant caravans and all sort of things. So it is definitely big enough for the both of you.
But we're just gonna get yelled at by some mean people at top.
Yeah, nobody's gonna haul you up.
Hmm.
And you know you've climbed sheer cliffs before, so you
Yeah.
could try that if you wanted to.
I have an idea.
Okay, what's your idea, Stoops?
I'm gonna sing 99 bottles of beer on the wall into this megaphone until they let us in.
Or at least someone will come out to verify we are in fact a fairy and a dog if we just
Yes!
keep playing them. This is a great plan.
All right, Stoops, roll a
Alright.
clever roll. And this is the action is overcoming. As you're trying to overcome this obstacle, you're going to see if you can cleverly annoy this person enough to do something.
That's a 2. That's
That's a
better than
2.
last time.
So that's going to be a tie for what you need. So let me just double check what a tie. You succeed at a minor cost, which is curious. I think that you effectively succeed. You hear eventually, all right, stop with your cruel torture. I'll let you up. But if there's a single odd move from either of you, we'll cut you down where you stand. And you haven't made a good first impression. Not at all. And although you can't see this, you feel there's a sense of dwarf faction -10 somewhere in the world.
For 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
I think I'm supposed to like do diplomacy or whatever to help my country out. But honestly, that hasn't been going that well for me. I tried to talk to the princess about diplomacy and she was like, I just want to stab things and I respect that. But now we're upsetting the dwarves.
You hear from the horn, the dwarf says, right, climb into the elevator and we'll hoist you up, and you best be on your best behavior.
Okay, see you soon.
Yeah, we will clamber in.
All right, you get in, and soon you feel a tug as the entire cage is pulled upwards higher and higher, closer and closer to the top of the peak, and then it reaches this sort of built stone platform. And you get a beautiful view of Fantasia while you're here, by the way. But as it opens up, you see there's a massive sort of stone edifice set up before you. This big archway, two big dwarf statues like holding up the entire ceiling. And you can see a number of disgruntled dwarves there, some of them with spears and shields, some of them with hammers, just kind of like slapping them into their hand. And they kind of all give you a simultaneous cockeye. And you hear a familiar voice as one of them says, all right, I'll admit, you don't look like the most dangerous thing I've ever seen. So we'll let you in. You might be able to help us. What business do you have here anyway?
To be honest, I kind of zoned out when the Oracle started saying all those big words. Why are we here, Stoops?
We're here because the Oracle said that, basically this will help us solve the problem of the Lightsworn heroes
Oh,
not
right.
being here.
Right.
What do you mean problem? They're out destroying chaos. What problem?
No, they're not. They're gone.
What?
They're kind of gone.
The Lightsworn heroes are gone?
Oh, you're not taking this very well.
Yes, oh, I'm sorry, the saviors of our world have just suddenly disappeared. Sorry if I'm not just sitting calmly.
Well, maybe you could try sitting calmly.
You can see he kind of like breathes out, breathes in, breathes out. His old beard kind of fluffs as he does so. And he says, all right, well, this is a complete disaster. The Lightsworn heroes are a good friend of the dwarves. You'll need to be going to see the Mountain King.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
we're going into the Hall of the Mountain King?
Why do you say it like that? Why is there a funny look on your face, dog? Yes, you're going inside.
No reason. No reason. I start singing under my breath.
He says to you, by the way, I am a Dwarven Operator, is my name. I would have your names too.
I'm Stoobs of the
Stoobs.
starting village.
Some kind of magic wee talking dog. Amazing. And you?
Rosalind, hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Do you know where to find the Mountain King?
No.
No.
Well, let me put it this way. If there's a crisis and you need to find the Mountain King, you go to the tavern.
Somehow that doesn't seem like a good thing.
Listen,
No,
I don't...
is he an alcoholic?
All dwarves are alcoholics. What are you even talking about? Anyway, open up the gates. Let him in.
Do you just need collective therapy? Okay, we're going in.
A massive portcullis opens up and greets you into the warm light of these dwarven caverns, and you head inside, and you can see that this is a very typical dwarfy place. There is a lot of, carved stone everywhere, a lot of sort of geometric shapes. You can see that there are some dwarves as you go by who are just kind of like idling and just chatting with each other. Some sort of look curious glances at you, others don't pay any attention to you whatsoever. A lot of them are wearing these cute little tin hats. Some of them just are wielding pickaxes at all times. You walk by a little trio, and you kind of like hear them bark as you walk by. They just go hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, and that just seems to be their life. But soon enough, you can follow the signage, if not the runes, the pictograms depicting the tavern. And soon enough, you find your way into sort of an underground, sort of recreation-looking district of Hammerton. And you can see there is a big, beautiful tavern that is simply called The Tavern in this place.
Alright, this is it. Just a heads up, I think these places tend to be kind of loud and, like, rowdy?
Ugh.
So...
Are we gonna see a fight? You think they're gonna like punch each other? Like boom, boom, boom! I'm at a bar! Rah!
You know, I didn't think that this would be your scene, but okay, yeah, let's go.
Take like a smug and I wanna smash it over someone's head!
You walk into the Dwarven Tavern and you emerge into a very sort of warm, lovely atmosphere. There's a lot of dwarves just idling around tables, drinking their drinks, singing their dwarven songs. You can see the place is bustling right now. And indeed, there is a sort of a royal guard set around, making a perimeter off to the side, ensuring the Mountain King's safety. But there are many people here. You even notice that there is somebody who isn't a dwarf here who kind of sticks out. Quite a sort of tall, heroic-looking woman who is just bent over rather sullenly over a table and sort of just nursing a tankard. And you do see just a stool fly through the air and just smash against the wall next to you, and you see a piece of crafting wood just floating next to it in its wake.
Fights!
And you hear a dwarf yell, "No daughter of mine is ever going to do anything but be a miner. My father was a miner, my mother's father was a miner, my mother's father's mother was a miner, and you'll be a miner, and I don't want to hear anything else about it." And you hear a young dwarf woman say, "But father, I don't want to be a miner. I want to be a poet. I want to do something else other than just bang this at a rock every day. Please, father, I'll hear no more of it. Get out of my sight. I'm sick of the sight of you." Ugh. And you can see the young dwarf kind of like quickly runs out, rather upset at this whole thing.
I feel bad. Should we do something?
Yeah. We probably should do something. I guess I can smash some stuff later.
Aveline, you have been here for some time, nursing your troubles, as it were. You are very used to sort of the rowdy atmosphere. In fact, this argument you just saw has happened about 3 times today. And
Is it the same people having the same
it is the
argument?
same people.
Okay.
You can see that the daughter seems to have a better level of doing new things, whereas the father is just... You know dwarves are stubborn, but this guy literally says the exact same things every time. So it's become very routine for you.
So at this point, I've probably memorized all of his lines.
Yeah.
So if
You just
you're
mouth
paying
them.
attention, if you're paying attention while this fight's going on, you can see that Aveline, the woman who is at the table by herself, nursing a tankard, just like minor.
No
Just
daughter
like-
of mine. And yeah, Aveline, it is fair to say that while you are used to what happens around here, to see a fairy and a corgi walk in is a highly unusual event.
Well, that's new. Um, and honestly, anything to break from the monotony and
Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
Yep.
Oh God.
No.
there's someone new to talk to, so Aveline will gesture at the fairy and the corgi to join her if they would like.
She knows what's going on.
She seems really cool. Let's go talk to her.
She's the only non-dwarf here. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi. You are not from here.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Are you...
Are we like on a loop? No. We're not gonna tell
Okay.
you how to jump. Don't worry.
Okay.
Or say hi ho. That seems like that's been going on a lot. I'm
Hi-ho.
sorry.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Yeah, every once in a while, I just get very bored of where I am, and the same thing's happening over and over again. So I was planning on leaving here fairly soon.
So you can leave? So why are you here then?
Unfortunately, you're not able to because of the Mountain King's decree. Nobody is allowed to leave.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, well, right now I can't leave. I was planning on it. It's only so funny the first couple times when they keep talking about minors, and then you're like, haha, if you replace the E with an O, you're talking about kids. Haha, you're gonna be a minor forever. And then it gets really old after like the third time.
Oh.
So wait, do they just have the same argument every single day?
Well, the daughter seems to be adapting and changing slightly, but her dad is just saying the same lines every single time.
Ooh, that's gonna be yeah.
Huh. Have you
Mhm.
tried coming over and saying the lines at the same time he does and see what he does?
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
Right? You can even get a costume and wear like a fake beard.
Honestly, I kind of wonder if anyone would even notice.
That's
I
a
hope.
good question.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Oh boy. So we are kind of here to help solve the problem of the king possibly having a mental breakdown. We were sent by the Elven Oracle. Do you know who that is?
Do I?
You are familiar with the
Okay.
legend of the Oracle. It's literally what it says on the tin. You have not met her personally.
Okay. No, I've not met the Oracle, but I am aware of the Oracle.
She has 99 levels and chill. Super cool.
It's a lot of levels.
What levels? Nothing.
It's very
phases-
old.
Yeah, that would explain a lot.
You're also pretty old. How'd you get that old?
Thank you for pointing that out.
I don't think you're supposed to say. That was.
Well, I am the mentor character.
Whoa! Cool! Who do you mentor?
Well, it's supposed to be the player character.
Oh, the Lightsworn heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the Lightsworn heroes, but apparently my time in this game is not meant to last very long.
Oh.
Oh. Were you
That's a
abandoned in
bummer.
a cave too?
No, I'm going to die.
I'm sorry. Is it because you're so old?
I wish. No, unfortunately, the only motivator for the hero is when their mentor dies.
Oh, so that's a terrible existence to die to fuel another person.
Yeah, so, hence the drink.
Oh.
Yeah, in the biz they call that getting fridged. It's not a fun time.
No.
I love the idea of Stoops being on TV tropes and just,
Just like scrolling through.
just like all of
yeah,
this,
I found
all
a
these
trope.
things. We have to deal with everything here.
It all makes sense now.
So, yeah, I mean, it happens very, very early in the game, where you teach them some tutorial stuff, you help them realize their destiny, and then you die.
And for you, Aveline, you were brought down low by a character known as the Lich.
Ooh.
That's a cool name.
So did I
Someone say
actually
something?
like die, or did I just like go down really low and go back to the starter village?
You, in the first run of the game, you were
Okay.
murdered in front of the heroes by the Lich. And
as it
then
should be.
once the Maya started affecting this world, you respawned and suddenly
Oh,
things
okay.
started connecting.
Do I remember my death?
You do.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
yeah. So, unfortunately, I think it's gonna happen again because it's my only reason for existence.
So all you have to do is never mentor someone ever. And then you can't die.
But every time that we do something the game doesn't like, weird things start happening. Like giant geometric
Cubes.
bricks falling from the sky and
Mm.
yeah.
So maybe
just-
mentor a lot of people and die?
I feel like it ends the same no matter what I do.
Hmm.
But anyway,
I mean,
so
so
weird
do you
stuff
you
is
not-
happening.
want the Lightsworn heroes to come back?
Does it? I don't know if it makes a difference if they do. For me personally, at least.
So even if they're not here, you'll still die?
It's in my coding.
Oh. Hmm. There's gotta be a way to fix that. But well, maybe we should focus on the one thing that we can fix right now, and that's getting out of here. But also finding out what the Oracle sent us to do. I don't know.
For you, Stoops, the Oracle specifically said you need to follow in the footsteps of the Lightsworn heroes.
Oh. So maybe you have to mentor us.
Oh. I mean, yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Oh, what can you teach me? And Stoops, what are you good at? Do you give life advice? Are you gonna teach us how to drink and then smash it against the wall? You seem like
Yeah,
you're
Rosalind really wants to do a bar brawl.
I really want a bar brawl.
And let me just clarify, you know how to jump already, right?
Yes, we know how to jump.
Yes.
Okay.
Please don't go through that again.
All right. Well, see, I can teach some sword techniques.
Oh, I lost sword from the princess.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so we can start with the sword.
Okay.
Let's see. I have a lot of cryptic words of wisdom.
A lot of foreshadowing.
Yes. If you want a meaningful flashback, I can hook you up.
Oh, I want a meaningful sword flashback.
Ooh.
You pull
Yeah,
out
I
the
think-
elven blade, and as you do so, a dwarf next to you kind of looks at it with disgust and says, "What is that fancy thing you got there? It's a little butter knife."
I look at Stoops and I'm like, can I start a fight? Can I start a fight?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. I'm gonna take his ale that he's holding and smash it.
All right, make a forceful attack with your mighty fairy powers.
Wonderful.
I love this. And the dwarf is not going to defend because he is both inebriated and not expecting this at all. All right, so you deal 8 point of damage.
Oh
Actually, no. I should roll. I should at least roll to see because he could get negatives. You deal 2 points of damage as you just clock this guy with his own ale. You see there's just a splash of ale particles that fly into the air, and the dwarf just looks dizzy. You see he's got lots of a dizzy status effect above his head, and he just falls backwards on his stool and slams onto the ground. And everyone kind of looks around like, "Hey!" And just sort of suddenly you're hoisted into the air and people are just cheering for you. Just like, this fairy has got the right stuff. You can see that the sort of wall, a shield wall of royal guard take notice of this, and they open up just for a second, and you see a dwarf kind of trying to squeeze through a little bit. He's sort of very bald. And has some fairly nice clothing on, and he sort of just beckons you over very quickly after seeing this incredible display.
Guys, let's go talk to him. You gotta come to mentor, so you can give us wisdom.
Okay. Wisdom.
Wisdom.
We just gotta figure out a way to leave.
You flick a couple of ale particles off of your shoulder as you follow them over. You can see that the dwarf, the sort of a bald-headed dwarf who called you over, looks at you, and he sort of like ushers you inside the perimeter of this shield wall that has been created. And you all have to enter one at a time. Aveline, for you, it's a little bit tricky because you are the largest person here. And I imagine you just have the biggest World of Warcraft pauldrons on right now.
Oh, yeah.
So you clock one of the dwarves right in the face, and she's like, ah! But remains, standing and stoic. And you enter sort of a nice area that has been set aside for, dignitaries and nobles and such. There are these big cushions set around a nice fire. There is just a servant there with a massive jug of ale constantly ready to refill anybody's drinks. And standing in front of the fire is this very regally dressed figure with this very large, extremely heavy-looking metal crown on his head. It stretches to about 2 heads worth of height above him. And as he turns around to face you see he has just beautiful, intricate braids throughout his beard. And he turns to you with gravitas and he says, "We will always remember what the Light Sworn heroes have done for us." And then he proceeds to turn around back towards the fire.
Oh no, guys, he's a looper.
Oh. Excuse me, sir?
He turns around again and he says, "We will always remember what the Light Sworn heroes have done for us." And he turns back around again. You see that the bald-headed dwarf at this point, like, very meekly just tries to cut in. You can see they're a bit, they don't necessarily want to cut off their leader and their monarch, but also he is literally doing the exact same thing over and over again. So this dwarf kind of, like, pipes in. He says, "Hey, over here, hello. I just wanted to talk to you real quick. This is the Mountain King, by the way. Say hello. He's very important around these parts, and he makes all the laws. He's also not being affected by whatever's affecting, I assume, the rest of us who are here right now. Help? Can you help at all? I don't know what to do."
I mean, we could just keep poking him, see what happens.
Do it! Poke him! Poke him!
Trust me, I've tried. And he turns around and says, "We will never forget what the Light Sworn heroes have done for us." And he turns around back towards the fire again, and the bald dwarf just says, "I swear, it's just, you're really just, it's funny the first couple of times."
Have you tried insulting the Light Sworn heroes in front of him?
I wouldn't dare. The Light Sworn heroes are well honored among our society after the great boon they did for us.
Yeah, but right, so he's not gonna expect it, so he might break from the loop and say something different.
I don't feel good about it, but you can give it a go.
I mean,
No,
what did they do?
I can't do it because I have to diplomatize with them. Someone else has to.
I mean, as my mentees, I suppose I could get away with it.
Yeah! Go insult them! Insult them, insult them, insult them!
I don't know anything about these heroes. Abby doesn't. I'm sure Abby.
Honestly, like, we have established 0 things so far, so anything you
Okay.
say will be true.
Okay. Can you believe those lazy heroes broke the dam?
Dare they? Tell us more about how bad they are!
They are very useless. They do nothing. They can't even finish a game.
They abandoned me in a cave, which is mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, it sounds, Aveline, like you are making a very sort of you're attempting some sort of subterfuge, some sort of manipulation here. So why don't you roll sneaky and see how that goes?
Oh, not well, I'll tell you that.
Oh, 1. Okay. So you can see that the bald dwarf, like, is very, like, his neck just gets shorter and shorter as he hears these words that you're saying. No reaction from anybody there.
Darn.
And the bald dwarf is kind of like, it's really, really kind of just locked in crisis mode right now. You see, last time we had a crisis, we just had to wait around for the Light Sworn heroes to show up and then solve a problem, and that's when things started doing things again.
What if we make him solve the problem by just pushing him at it?
Well, the problem's a bit ephemeral, so I don't know how we're going to do that.
What is the problem? What triggered the lockdown?
Well, I'm not certain, but I believe that the last time we had a crisis, it was part of the grand tapestry of the Light Sworn heroes, right? And I think as a way of coping through whatever strange things are happening right now, the king just entered this mode as a way of trying to figure out how to respond. And now I think he's stuck.
So it's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, kind of. I fear.
He's stuck in a loop quite literally, not because he isn't aware, but because, like...
I think
Easier?
the next thing he's waiting for is the Light Sworn heroes to hand in a quest that they've already done. So, I don't know.
What was the quest?
Well, when the Light Sworn heroes first came here, we didn't exactly trust them, because they just stormed all in here, all heroic-like, and they asked for the king's Earth Orb. Apparently they're going around collecting elemental orbs or something.
Oh.
Anyway, so our Mountain King possessed the Earth Orb, and they asked for it. Mountain King said no, obviously, and he sent them on a trial of courage to see if they could prove themselves, which they did. Let me see if I can recall what they did. They battled the Gem Golem. That's dead now, and they brought back a trophy, and they showed it to the king. At that point, the king had been poisoned. Oh boy, it was a real twist, let me tell you. So the king got poisoned. I'm the royal taster. So I got thrown straight in jail, and I was going to be executed. And I told the Light Sworn...
I would do the same.
No, it was totally understandable,
Yeah.
perfectly in line with Dwarven law. The Light Sworn heroes heard what I had to say. I told them I didn't do it, on my honor. And they looked into it. They found out that it wasn't any kind of ingestion, that it was a foul, evil, what was it? A frost giant sorcerer who had been the enemy of the dwarves for the longest time, cast a wicked spell on the Mountain King. So anyway, the Light Sworn heroes took care of that, and naturally by the time they came back, they had the antidote, they saved the king, and he was very thrilled, as were all of we, so he gave them the Earth Orb. And we've been singing their praises ever since. Anyway, I don't know if we can get all that happening again, because it's already happened.
So we just gotta re-poison him and then
No! Stone above and below, don't poison my king, especially since the antidote's already been used.
No, but I could clear poisons. That's what I do.
Oh, please don't poison my king. I'm begging you not to
Really?
poison the king.
Maybe this is a status effect.
He does seem confused. I'm gonna try to clear his confusion.
Okay, you cast your elven magic. Describe to us what exact thing you're doing.
Yeah, it's a janky cutscene. It's so bad, you guys. It is so
You all
glitchy.
see just letterboxes closing in on you. Like, wait, what? What's happening? And you enter a second-person view where you see like a much more sort of like a fleshed out and detailed version of Rosalind just do these fancy particle systems on a much more fleshed out and detailed version of the Mountain King. And you do so, and then you just see a little text that comes up that says, "It has no effect."
Well, he's not
Oh.
poisoned or confused anymore. He's just like this.
Did he replicate the trophy that was given to him to complete the quest? If he's waiting for that quest to be completed, then it's already done.
That's a really good idea. Who are you?
I am Aveline the Righteous.
Oh, a fancy name. Lovely to meet you.
You're welcome.
I don't know if we can necessarily replicate that, but if we just bring a different trophy from
Oh.
some other test of courage, maybe that will be enough.
Okay.
We're certainly not lacking for tests of courage around here.
Well, give us a courage test.
Let me just review what we have on the royal decree. As a royal taster, I'm not privy to many things, but I'm sure the Mountain King won't mind if I just take a wee look at what he needs done. You can see the royal tester kind of like pulls out a scroll seemingly from nowhere that doesn't necessarily look like it's his. And he sort of reads it for a second and goes, "Oh, well, I have something for you. It's a bit of a doozy.
Okay.
Are you? I hope this isn't a rude question. Are you capable? Just in general, or are your skills in farming or something?"
I'm pretty capable up until my death.
Well, oh,
That's
such
so hardcore.
such wise words, such hard-hitting wise words. Right. Well, here's a quest for you. You need to retrieve some ancient mithril ore from the Forgotten Mines.
Okay. Doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah, how bad
What's-
could it be? You just go down, you fetch it, you bring it back, and hopefully that'll trigger something in the Mountain King to both get things moving and maybe help us all out a bit.
So what's down there that makes it a test of courage?
Well, the Forgotten Mine has a bit of a reputation. It was abandoned long ago by our ancestors, the ancient dwarves. It is said that that is where their hubris caught up to them, and their great empire collapsed overnight. And ever since, the Forgotten Mine has been stripped of its name, locked away, and nobody has been allowed to go in because whoever does ends up dead.
Oh,
But there's some
Well-
good stuff in there, so maybe you might find something good.
is it locked like we need a key locked?
No, it's really more of a law that no dwarf is allowed inside, and we are very respectful of laws around here.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
would you have ever sent the Light Sworn Heroes in?
If they had come back, I'm sure the king would have given them this, but we never saw them again. I think they were in a bit of a hurry to stop the forces of chaos, which you can't blame them.
So it is a canon quest. Okay.
What's a cannon? Where's a cannon? I don't see any.
How did you know about our cannons? I mean, you didn't hear that.
Whoa. Oh, you have secret cannons?
No, we have no secret cannons.
I want to see the secret
We
cannons.
have no secret cannons.
I think canon in this situation meant follows the original story.
You guys keep talking about story, and I don't really fully get what you're talking about. But we gotta go to a mine or something, yeah?
Yeah.
The Forgotten Mine. And you see all the royal guards just turn around and say, "The Forgotten Mine."
Oh no.
It's so spooky.
Give me a sec. I am going to. I'm real nervous about whatever the heck could be in there. Like, is this Balrog level? Is this something that we should get hirelings for? So I am going to really quick Google Phantasria, Forgotten Mine.
Go for it. Make a clever roll and add 2 because of your lookup stunt. And we'll see what information you glean.
Okay, so that. Oh, there's 5 total.
It's 5, okay. The difficulty was
pretty good.
3, so you didn't succeed with overwhelming success, but you did succeed. So what you get back about the Forgotten Mine is that it is it is actually purported as a very easy to miss quest because the Mountain King can give it to you immediately after you do the main quest to get the Earth Orb, and as such, it is designed to follow immediately after that one. So you think for the level that you're all at, which is still a bit ephemeral at this point, you could probably, you've been going through the forest and battling things, and you have some really cool lady with you now, you could probably handle it.
Okay.
Beyond that,
Okay.
you don't get a whole lot of details other than bring something to light up the area with.
Okay. We need a light source of some kind. That will help us, definitely. Excuse me, Mr. Food Taster, sir.
The Royal Taster, yes, hello.
The Royal Taster.
I'm sorry, we weren't introduced. What was your name?
I'm Stoobs.
That's a lovely name.
Thank you. I feel like Stoobs has a lot in common with Dwarven culture. She is also short. Like the name.
Yeah.
Where can we get a lantern, or could you give us some lanterns or something?
Well, let's see. Lantern Maker is a lantern maker. You can go speak to him during the usual hours of business.
Which one's Lantern Maker? Which way?
Well, just head to the merchant district and look around for a little sign with a lamp on it. You'll find it easy enough.
See, what else do you have in that district? Name all your shops.
Oh, I'd be happy to name every shop we have in the district. We have the weapon shop, and the armor shop, and the boot shop, and the cloak shop, and the pickaxe shop, and the helmet shop, and the beard grooming shop.
You have a dedicated blacksmith just for pickaxes.
Aye.
It's not gonna fall under like armor or weapon.
I don't mean to dwarf-splain to you right now, but
Okay.
let's just say that pickaxes are a whole other level. It's oh,
Well, then obviously the
just
rest
make
of
them
the
at the. No, you need a dedicated place for pickaxes.
What if I told you that every other place in the world has one shop for all three of those things?
I'd say they're doing it wrong. Where's their tunnel kingdom? Eh? Show me their tunnel kingdom.
Fair enough.
He has a point. But what else is there?
Oh, let me continue with my list of every shop we have in the district.
Yes.
So, where was I? Where did I leave off? Oh, of course, we have the Lantern Maker shop. I would be remiss to forget that one. We also have the bomb shop. Great work there. Great work there. Yep, great work.
Yeah, I want to explode
no.
things.
Also have the magic shop. Not a whole lot of people go there. Not a whole lot of spellcasters around these days.
No, like potion maker people, though.
Potions. Who needs a potion when you got an
That's
ale?
great. We don't need to hear any more shops. We're done here.
I have many more I can speak about, but if you insist.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay. Thank you, though. I think we're probably gonna go see the lantern maker and possibly the bomb maker. I don't know.
Well, here, let me hand you something that might help. And he hands you something, and you hear a badoop as one of you picks it up. Who takes this?
Probably not me. I don't know.
I
I'm
only
gonna
have one spot left. One hand.
Okay, then I will pick it up. I
Okay,
guess.
Stoobs, you kind of like grab it in your drawers and it disappears into your inventory, and you see that you have a royal merit. And the brief description implies that you can buy a couple of things with this without having to pay.
Wow.
That's nice.
And
That's
it's a
great.
stack of 3.
Okay, so we have 3 gift cards.
Nice.
Alright.
Nice. Alan, do you know how to use bombs? Can you teach me how to throw a bomb? Can you mentor me in the process of blowing things up?
Well, I was going to say no until you incorporated the word mentor, and now I know how to do that.
I feel like you weren't this violent before the altercation at the elf village. Are you feeling okay?
I have realized that I like explosions. I think they're fun, and I want to explore that side of my personality more.
You have the heart of a dwarf.
I feel like that is a very high compliment. Alright, let's go learn how to blow things up.
Okay, so do the 3 of you exit this place and head to the merchant district?
Mhm.
Okay. As you're walking along, you follow the signs through these sort of dimly lit tunnels of Hammerton, and you see more dwarves, more of them having idle conversations, some of them having existential crises. And you make your way to where all the shops are, and it's not necessarily the most beautiful place you've seen, but it is very efficiently laid out, just like a square building and a square building and a square building, all with different signs outside for whatever you need.
Otherwise completely identical.
Very similar, as though formed from the same prefab.
We just have to like walk in front of the shop to, light the sign up. We get the little text on the bottom that tells us what the sign says.
Stoops, you feel some camaraderie with these signs.
I do. My kid.
All right, where to? Or just give me a general idea. What stuff would you like to get
I think we need to start the light, right?
with a lantern maker? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go in and you actually recognize that the person who runs this shop is the young dwarf that ran out of the tavern earlier, and she is kind of like very sadly sort of sitting at the service desk, and she is just kind of like scratching into the stone because everything here is made of stone. There's no wood to be found. She's just kind of scratching idly into the stone with her fingernails and just looks kind of upset. Doesn't really notice any of you entering.
Hello?
She jumps up and goes, "Oh, hi, hello, welcome to the Lantern Maker. What can I make you? Is it a lantern?"
How about
Yes.
a poem and a lantern?
Do you take other requests?
As soon as Rosalind says anything about poem, you can see that this dwarf's eyes sort of just expand widely, and they start to glow. And she says, I'm sorry, I might have misheard. Did you say poem?"
Yes, I want a poem and a lantern. Maybe a poem on the lantern as well.
Nobody's ever asked for a poem before. Wait, who are all you strangers?
I'm
Oh.
Stoobs.
Rosalind, and this is our mentor.
Whoa, you have your own mentor.
I am now again.
What are you mentoring them in?
Bombs.
Yeah, now it's bombs,
Oh,
which I did not know up until about 5 minutes ago.
that's mighty impressive. It's really nice meeting all of you. We don't get many guests here in Hamilton. Yeah, I can get you a lantern immediately. She kind of pulls out a lantern at once, and she says, and I'd really like to write you a poem, but I lack the means to do so.
Like you don't have paper?
Nary a quill or ink or paper in all the Hamilton. It's like they don't even need it anymore. Can you believe it? I've searched every crate in the merchant district and nothing.
You tried?
Plenty of tongs, though. Do you want tongs? I have so many tongs.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Have you tried writing it on stone?
I tried. Unless I have the proper tool, I can't do it, and it's really upsetting. Oh well. So what do you need this lantern for, anyway?
We're gonna go into the spooky mine and find some ore or something. I don't know. When people start using the big words, I still don't know. But I just know that we're going somewhere.
You going to the Forgotten Mine?
Yeah!
Why? Do you have a death wish?
Yeah. No. Wait.
Oh.
No. We're solving stuff to make the world normal so I can go home.
Oh. You're bona fide heroes.
No, I don't want to leave anybody in a cave, so...
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I don't know. Does a hero mostly just want food all the time?
I wouldn't know.
I think that's a dog.
You are a dog.
Mhm.
A really cute dog at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a fairy, a dog, and one human with a death sentence.
Now, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but the last heroes we had in here were like, we're talking dedicated DPS, heal, support, all bells and whistles. This group that I'm looking at before me, I'm sure you're all great, but
No, we're not that.
oh,
How do you know what DPS is?
it's hard to say. It just kind of came to me in a dream. I just sort of understood what that meant.
You're dreaming?
Aye.
Are you having an existential crisis?
I just want to write poems so I can just get it out of me, you know? Just try to deal with it somehow. Try to express myself. Got a
What
lot
if
going
you take
on.
a stick, and then you carve it into
Oh,
the ground, and then you can just know them.
It's really close to hammering a pick against the wall, and I am so sick of that. I've been doing it my entire life, and I don't want to do it anymore. But hey, listen, my name's Sparky, by the way. Pleasure to meet all of you.
That is an adorable name.
I
Thanks.
like the name.
Could I maybe just accompany you to the Forgotten Mine and just A, make sure you don't die horrible deaths, and B, maybe I can find some old ink and paper in that dusty old place.
Can you fight? Are you
Well-
gonna be okay in
I feel like knowing what DPS is half the battle, really.
And I mean, if we want, we could always do a training montage or a flashback.
What?
Training montage flashback. How do we do that?
I think I have to like will a cutscene.
You feel the letterbox.
Oh no! No,
They
not
start
again!
coming. You can see that Sparky goes, "Oh no, what's happening? What's happening to my shop?" And you're suddenly hurled into a flashback of a montage. Aveline,
Can I
take the
roll
lead.
mentor to the
Yes,
hero?
please do.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll mentor to the hero.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, let's do your approach. It sounds like you're preparing people for stuff, so let's roll
Oh, okay.
cautious. What's it called? Careful.
Careful. Okay.
And then you get to add a +2 to this thanks to your stunt. So that's a total of
Okay,
4.
So that's 4. Yep.
For training in this manner, that's a success. So you can go ahead and narrate whatever kind of cutscene you would like of this training montage, and I'll create an aspect for you all to invoke.
So the training montage with what was her name?
Sparky.
Sparky. Okay.
I'll go ahead and write it here.
So the training montage will feature Sparky mostly, and it'll be like different shots of us fighting with training stuff and swords and shields, and the camera does one of these around.
You can see that like Sparky has incorporated all the tongs she has to make like training dummies and stuff.
Yes, and then due to my newfound knowledge of bombs, there's just bombs going off in the background.
A bit of rumbling and shaking every now and
Yep.
then. I love it so much. Is there anything the rest of you are doing during this montage?
I'm looking at the bombs excitedly.
Love it. We go from a shot of you looking excitedly to a shot of you just covered with soot, just still smiling.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then after the music swells and the song completes, the montage is finished.
Absolutely beautiful. I have created the training montage aspect, which honestly could apply to anything if you can justify it well enough. That will get a free invocation. So whenever you roll, you can invoke it freely if you would like without having to spend any fate points due to your montage. So we cut to the end of it. Everybody is like sweating particle systems right now, just like, whew, what a tough montage that was. And you feel ready and good to go for your delve into the Forgotten Mines. My question to you is, what are the other 2 items you are purchasing with your royal credits?
Do you want to guess what I want, Thomas?
I'm
Is it-
guessing that we're gonna get a bomb.
Now here's the really unfortunate thing. You are incapable of purchasing a bomb until you purchase a bomb pouch. So that would blow both your tickets on it.
Oh. Okay, let's
They just
discuss
slip out of your
I
hands
guess-
otherwise.
What else? I don't know. What else might we need? Aveline has her armor and her weapons and everything.
Are there like health potions?
No, the only potions dwarves have are ales.
Oh, that's fair.
That tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I feel like there's nothing else that we could get Stoobs or Rosalind. So if everyone else is okay with it, then I guess we'll get the bomb pouch and the bomb.
Yes.
Okay, Rosalind, you are now the proud owner of a bomb pouch, which doesn't go into your inventory. It just kind of makes a slot appear for you, and that's where you
Whoa.
put your bombs. And you have
Whoa.
3 bombs.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Is there
I
a
am
bomb shop?
Yep, right from the bomb shop. And you can see the proprietor is just covered in burn marks and scorches, missing an arm and a leg, and just like, take care now.
Oh god.
If you see a crack on the wall, try and blow it up.
Somehow that doesn't seem good.
No, we do it all the time.
Love this.
How has anyone survived?
All right, and with that, you're all kind of like prepared and ready to delve. You can see that Sparky has basically a very large pickaxe, and that's kind of all she's really got bringing to the situation.
Okay.
and the rest of you are equipped with your other things. Yeah, are you ready to head out, or is there any other exploring or chatting you wanted to do first?
I think Stoops is set.
Yeah,
Got
I'm
my
ready.
bombs. So
You're just hugging them. Love it. Okay, so you start heading, kind of going down this massive stone passageway that leads into the depths of Hammerton, until eventually you leave the town itself and enter sort of the old city. And this is where a lot of closed-off mining tunnels are, a lot of places where ore veins have been depleted, and you keep going down and down and down, stairway after stairway, heading into the depths of the sort of precursor dwarves. And at this point, Sparky is saying to you, so here's a little confession. I've never really left anywhere. I've never gone anywhere. So this is all a bit new to me. I'm getting a little bit excited. I'm here to help, but I also know nothing about where we're going or what we're doing beyond the legends I've heard. So sorry ahead of time.
no
That's
worries.
okay.
Nobody has a map, so we're
Yeah.
used to this.
Well, the
It's-
Lightsworn heroes have the map.
Yeah, there's only one map in the world, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it Wait, why is that how it is?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I didn't even
just-
think about that until now.
It's not convenient.
No, it
It's
doesn't
not
make a
good
lot of
for
sense.
anyone.
Just a bad
It's not
decision.
there's so many bombs, but no maps.
That doesn't seem right. Now that I'm thinking about it and saying it out loud, it doesn't seem right at all.
No.
Yeah.
And have you noticed that some people all have names that are just their jobs? Like the Lantern guy is just named Lantern guy.
My
Bob-
father.
Yeah, your dad. He doesn't have a real name.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
And then everyone else is based off of like trees and plants and stones and stuff.
So out of character, is now a good time to like take a little bio break?
Absolutely, we can do that right now. Let me just get everything ready. So we'll be right back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And we'll return very soon to see what lies in the Forgotten Mines. Stay tuned. And I now need to do this. And this. We're still live, by the way. Doop-a-doop. And we are now Now, welcome back, everybody.
All right.
We're Awakened Pixels. We're back having our fun old-school RPG, TTRPG adventure. It's a mouthful, but it works, trust me. Where we last left off, our heroes... Do we have a group name yet? Are we still figuring that out? Cool.
No, I don't think we have one.
We gotta wait for it to come naturally.
Yeah.
So
You just need it
Rosalind...
to be like the opposite of light sworn heroes.
Yes. So Rosalind the Fairy, Stoobs the Corgi, and their new ally, Aveline the Mentor, Aveline the Righteous, the Mentor, are working with an NPC called Sparky, who wants to be a poet, heading down to a place called the Forgotten Mines to try and retrieve a very valuable object known as ancient mithril ore. And currently you're having some trouble. And you haven't even got to the Forgotten Mines yet, because the journey down is so complex and convoluted the lower you go. The tunnel's going off in all sorts of different directions. It is very hard for you to, surprise, surprise, navigate, and there certainly isn't a map for this. So I'm going to need from all of you to explain what you're doing to help find where you need to go.
I'm sorry, I'm having some volume issues. What are we rolling?
You're trying to determine how you're going to get to this place, because you cannot... It's difficult. It is an obstacle before you. So what kind of orienteering are you bringing to this?
I'm gonna sniff. We're gonna go with the classic, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Gonna sniff around and see if I can find any way forward.
All right. So you're sniffing around. That's a very neutral thing to do. I'm trying to think which action that is. Let's say clever.
Maybe
Clever's fine.
Clever or careful, yeah.
Yeah. So as Stoobs is sniffing around, trying to find the right way to go, what is everybody else doing?
So what is... Sorry, remind me again, what exactly is this obstacle?
It's the sort of winding mines and passageways of
okay.
this place. You're trying to find the right way to go, basically.
Okay.
I got a 0.
You got a 0.
Yep.
Stoobs, you get a lot of dust in your nose, and you do some very adorable sneezes. But unfortunately...
This isn't a fun time, guys. I don't like it in here. I don't like caves. I'm with Rosalind on this. Caves are bad.
You hear Sparky go, "Oh, you don't like caves? I love caves. Caves are lovely." Oh, you're muted, Abby.
You're kind of saying this around the wrong people, Steves.
I mean, I like caves.
Dwarves, caves, kind of go together. Anyway, in the meantime, while we try to figure out which way we should go, Aveline is going to start marking where they have been.
Nice. Very cool. Go ahead and roll clever for that, then, to help keep track of where you've been, where you're going. Rosalind, are you...
One total.
One total. Cool. Rosalind, are you doing anything at the moment, or are you letting the others take the lead?
If no one knows where to go, Rosalind's gonna just pick a direction because she doesn't she doesn't really think things through very well.
Then
She's just
please
gonna
roll
think,
flashy.
Cool. And is just gonna go for it.
All right, roll your flashy, which is a combination of your impulsiveness and your luck, to see if this pays any dividends.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Shockingly, hope against hope, Rosalind picks a direction, and you're all just like, well, nothing else we've tried has worked, and you immediately appear at the entrance to the Forbidden Mine, which has marked with warnings in dwarvish runes. There's a sort of very ancient scroll or tablet nailed to the wall that basically says, it is, by royal decree, no dwarves are allowed in here. And
well, this can't stop me because I can't read.
and as you get kind of close to the entrance, you see that it's boarded up. It is no effort at all to just kind of like tear them down a little bit. As you do so, you hear just the deep echoes that come out of this very dark mine ahead of you. A lot of cobwebs kind of circled up in the planks as well. And you can see that Sparky seems a bit reluctant as well. She kind of like is given some pause as she looks into this gaping maw of this tunnel.
If you come in with us, wait, Is the game gonna do something? Like, does your code allow you to move past this point?
Well, how I like to put it is that it's against dwarven law for me to go in there. But I want to help. I want to help you. I think you're all great, and we train together, and I also want to see if there's anything in there to help me realize my career as a poet. It's just, makes my skin crawl a little bit.
What if we cross out the can't on the sign? So then it's just you go in here. And then you're not breaking any rules because you're doing what the sign says.
Well, ideally it'd have to be notarized, but we could give it a try.
Okay. Sparky, remember. Reach the point people expect you to and keep going.
Yeah!
You're right. I'm limiting myself with my own expectations. I should just keep going. Oh, you really are a good mentor. Oh gosh. Alright, let's do this. Ready when you are.
Spooky cape! Spooky cape!
Spooky cave!
You hear like the echo of you yelling that come right back at you, and it sounds like demons are screaming.
You know what? I'm going to find a way to make this positive. If they're demons, they're my own, and you should face them. Isn't that right, mentor?
Yes. A life lived in fear is no life at all.
Oh, she's so inspiring. Alright, let's go.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And your party walks into the Forgotten Mines. Very quickly, Sparky lights up the lantern, and it emits a nice yellow glow out a decent way, but boy, a lot of your vision is quite heavily obscured. You cannot see particularly far in front of you, and you start stalking your way down the depths of the Forgotten Mines. And this place has a bad aura about it. You kind of can feel the dust being kicked up as you pass. You can see there is just a lot of cobwebs just sticking to everything around you. Nobody has walked these halls in a very, very long time. It starts to feel so claustrophobic, even for Sparky. There is something very oppressive about the atmosphere in this place, and it gets a little frightening at one point when you just look at the darkness ahead of you that you've been seeing for so long, just fearing what could potentially lie just beyond it. But every step you take, so far nothing terrible has happened to you, but there is just a haunting stillness to this entire place, and it's a tricky thing to shake off. Now, you need to navigate your way through these halls, and very quickly you stumble across what looks like a skeleton of a long, long dead dwarf who is stuck to the walls with ancient bolts that are sticking out of them, and it looks like some kind of old trap has been set up to deter anybody walking these halls. And you feel like there could be a lot more of these, and that you're going to have to really watch your step in this place if you don't want to be snapped up at the last minute. So, how are you navigating these halls, and how are you avoiding, disabling, or otherwise overcoming these traps?
Very carefully.
Let's careful.
What physical actions are you taking?
If anyone wants to try to disarm the traps, Aveline will stand over them to protect them and pull them out of the way if they need it.
I feel
Okay.
like Sparky might have the best knowledge of that,
Sparky's
actually.
probably gonna have the
yeah.
best knowledge, and we don't have to glitch me to the right size, which creates more instability.
Yeah.
You can see that Sparky holding the lantern is just like, I make lanterns for a living. I don't know a whole lot about this kind of stuff. I'm sorry.
You probably still know more than the rest of us.
You know, that's fair. I'm gonna try and disarm this one, and we'll just see what happens.
I would like to be ready to just grab her by the back of her shirt and drag her away if
Okay.
necessary.
So you come across what looks like it's gonna be a sort of a spring pit trap of some kind that had been hastily dug out and very poorly concealed. And it's a very good thing you brought this lantern, so it was revealed to you before you fell in it. And Sparky kind of like leans down and goes, "Hey, well, let's just, this looks bad." And she sort of reaches in and gets a 2 to disarm this trap, which is just enough. You hear it
Okay.
as the rope snaps and nothing terrible happens. And she goes, "I think we're safe. I think we're safe. Everybody good? All right.
Good.
Let's
Good,
just
good, good.
hop over this. All right, here we go." And she leaps to the other side. And there is a sort of another sort of dead, another skeleton of an ancient dwarf that is just spewed across the ground. It looked like it was sort of cut in half and was crawling before it died. Stoobs, you notice that it has a note in its hand, just there.
I'll kind of pull it out and just be like, hey guys, we got something. We
What's
have a
it say?
mysterious note.
What does it say?
Possibly a
is.
side quest. I'll look at it.
It is written in ancient dwarvish script, which you do not understand. However, Sparky gets to look at it and she's like, it's a bit archaic. But basically, it's telling about the last days of the ancient dwarves and how they awakened something terrible in the mountain and it brought ruin to their civilization. And they were all trapped in here with each other, left with their own paranoia, and they started to turn on each other. Oh, it sounds terrible.
That's not good.
No.
No.
Then you see Sparky kind of looks around confused and she says, hang on. When did this guy get the time to write this long note about the ups and downs of his civilization?
I mean, it's a very good question.
Oh,
Hey, you know what it is though? Paper. You
Right.
can write a poem on the back.
paper gets ba 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 ba. And she folds it up and kind of like tucks it away and she goes, right, I just need ink and a quill now.
Maybe he has it on him. Poke the dead body. on
Oh,
his way
good
out.
idea, good idea. And she kind of searches. Unfortunately, there is nothing but rotted away clothes, rusted armor, and that is it. And she goes, well, who just takes a perfectly good quill and ink?
I don't.
Light sworn heroes.
I thought they didn't come this way though.
That's true.
They do that, though.
Yeah, they do. They just come in and take your stuff. It's weird.
Right, let's keep going. And you suddenly hear a "Ooh" echoing throughout the halls, and it's opened up to several junctions at this point. You can hear just from different places these foul winds, these distant moans, this haunting kind of scraping and rattling sound. There are things in this darkness.
I'm gonna guess zombies or skeletons.
Oh.
Do you have any advice, Evelyn, on how to deal with spooky sounds?
Oh, spooky sounds. You can't overcome fear by thinking about it. Face it head on.
Okay! Charge forward.
Oh no!
As Rosalind yells out, you all hear
I'm
a
sorry,
skittering.
that's what I had in my bank.
A dreadful skittering coming from various parts of the tunnels, and you hear the sound of bone scraping on stone as something is getting closer and closer towards you. What do? Do you stand your ground? Do you flee? What's the plan?
I have a bomb.
Go on.
I'm going to hold this bomb, and if whatever pops out is spooky, I am going to throw it at it.
Okay, sounds good. The rest of you, are you planning anything at this moment?
I'm gonna stand my ground.
Okay, you adopt a defensive stance, Stoobs.
I'm gonna stand behind Evelyn and just be like ready to pop up from around her ankles
Okay.
should something get too close.
Yes, nip him in the ankles. Great idea. Okay, yeah, and Sparky kind of like gets behind all of you, holding the lantern aloft so you can see what's coming, and you hear it coming, the sound getting louder and louder of this dreadful skittering, and you hear that like one from one tunnel merge with another group from another tunnel, and just skittering, and suddenly emerging from the darkness you can see these pinpricks of light, and then in a moment you see what looks to be about a dozen large, chalky-looking spiders that come skittering and charging at the lot of you. Rosalind, you immediately throw your bomb. Please roll a careful for this bomb use as you are preparing for this.
Oh, guys, I have a 0 on that.
Oh,
Excellent.
no.
Or wait,
we
no,
got
wait, that's what
this.
I gave myself a negative in. I have a negative in careful.
Even better.
Oh boy.
I got a 0.
Don't forget, you can invoke that training montage.
Yes!
That's true. Would you
That's
like to
true.
invoke the training montage?
I would like to invoke the training montage.
All right, so that's still going to be an aspect, but it's out of free evocation, so you need a fate point to use it from now on. So you can either re-roll that or get a +2. What would you like?
We're gonna take a +2, so it's just not a 0.
Okay. These spiders are just going to take it, so they're going to roll their forceful, which is a 1. And they get a 0 to defend. Which means you deal 2 damage. You get ready to throw the bomb, and then you wait for a second, recalling your flashback and your training, and you think, wait, gotta cook it first. And then you throw it. And then, as just seconds before it impacts the spiders, there's a boom! And many of the spiders just explode into pixels. You can just hear the sound above Rosalind's head of just XP up, GP up. As she got many kills with that. But also you feel a terrible shake, and your ears start ringing, and the tunnel starts collapsing around you, and the entire tunnel network you are in is breaking down. What do you all do?
Okay, is it breaking down behind us or in front of us or just everything?
Bits and pieces everywhere. In the current region you're in, it is extremely unstable.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Which way are we running? Are we running forwards or back?
Sparky runs out ahead and just says, "Let's just do what we did last time and just run! Just run!"
Okay, I'm running. I
All right.
don't have much traction on the floor, so it's just like the sound
Skittering,
of
yeah.
dog feet, just like, ah!
You see the frantic bobbing of Sparky's lamp as she runs through the darkness, terrified for her life. There is still the threat of spiders and of traps. So based on what you were doing, I would like you to roll what you think is appropriate for you trying to avoid these dangers, or flee for your life.
I'm gonna say that Aveline takes her shield and kind of just runs with it in front of her.
Love it.
Ooh, yeah.
That's
so
great.
I'd say that's pretty forceful.
Absolutely, you can roll forceful to basically smash any obstacles out of your way, and any enemies as well. Stoops, what were you doing?
So I'm gonna do quick. She's gonna pop out the skateboard since her traction isn't great on, stone floor, and just do some sick kickflips down
Okay.
the hallway.
Love it. With a 4, you invent some new moves, and you get some points for them. You don't know what the points are for or where you can redeem these points, but you get
I don't
some.
understand this system, but awesome.
And you do like a
Rad.
180 sick mega jump flip or some other random name, as the cobwebs get kind of like spinning in your wheels as you go. What are you doing, Rosalind?
Also rolling quick, but I'm also for the first time ever regretting past decisions, which is a weird thing to
So,
experience.
Are you like dodging out of way of dangers, or are you just sprinting as quickly as you can? What exactly are you doing?
I'm just going as fast as I can
Love it.
forward, and also my brain is going fast because it's putting 2 and 2 together that maybe bombs are not the best thing.
All right.
It's just maybe.
Aveline, you smash something out of the way, and the rest of you just see a clatter of bones that just start raining on all of you. Stoob, somehow you do an awesome kickflip off a ribcage, and continue on your way. Rosalind, you kind of gracefully dodge and weave out of the way of these things, and just keep running and running and running. There appear to be sort of these animated skeletons that are down there with you. And in addition to these creepy spiders, which probably, resulted in the skeletons at one point. And of course, there is an entire collapse happening behind you, and you are now in a bit of a labyrinth. But you choose which way to go, just running as fast as you can, and eventually you emerge into this large, massive cavern. And this is different from everywhere you've been so far because it's just been a very small tunnel. This place is huge. It has been completely mined out, and what lies before you is a massive bridge that goes off into the darkness. And you do not know how far this bridge goes, but based on sort of its general the fanciness of some of the sculptures on it and the size of it, it seems to go on quite a ways.
Okay,
Oh,
so
friends.
go ahead.
Well, friends, we must pass through the darkness to reach the light.
Here, here. Let's very carefully, or as carefully as we can. Is the room still shaking?
You left the sort of major collapsing part of the tunnels behind, though there are still a few kind of stones being kicked your way from other tunnels back there collapsing on you.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for experiencing regret?
Ooh, regret. That's a good one. It's not as much about who you used to be as it is about who you choose to be.
I don't get it yet, but I will think about it until I do.
It's okay. I rarely understand what I say.
There is suddenly a loud skittering and a thwomp as one of these chalky spiders leaps out of the cavern behind you and attaches itself to Rosalind. Rosalind, you are being attacked with a 4. What do you do to defend yourself in this moment?
I try to shrink. I want to use my glitch.
Okay, you're using your glitch. Go ahead and roll careful for that.
Oh no! -2.
Negative
Oh my
2. Okay, that adds 3 to the instability, first of all.
Oh,
As you
boy.
kind of see the spider sort of glitching, it suddenly has 12 legs and then 36 legs, and it's just like this terrible ball or something, then it returns back to normal again. But Rosalind, the creation of those legs dealt you a total of 6 damage, which is impossible to absorb with stress alone. So this is the first time I've actually had extreme damage before. So the choices before you are, you can take some stress and a minor consequence, or actually it would have to be a moderate consequence to mitigate the damage completely. You can take a severe consequence, or you can take the damage and I'll tell you how you are taken out of this scene. What is your choice?
I guess the moderate consequence.
Okay, moderate consequence plus your second stress box. So let's see, what should the consequence be for Rosalind? I think it is simply low HP. So there is currently a ringing in your ears, just a beep, 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 suggesting you have very low health right now.
That happened.
Spider's still on top of Rosalind, by the way.
Okay. I was like, can I launch my skateboard at it?
Yes, please do. Forcefully
Don't wanna
launch.
Get close to this thing.
You can forcefully launch your skateboard at this terrifying spider creature. And it's
That
just
is
going
a
to take
2.
it. Okay, that's pretty good. Gets a -1, so you deal 3 damage to it. You launch your skateboard at it, and it basically cuts through one leg, then another leg, then another leg, and just bisects this spider somehow with this blunt wooden object. And as it kind of splits, you just hear it go meow, meow, and disappears into an explosion of particles.
That was gross.
I really hate caves.
Sparky leans down to you. Rosalind says, "Are you alright?"
Wibbly wobbly.
Here, let me help you up.
Understandable.
And she sort of lifts you.
It's fine. Let's just go find the ore, and then we can get out of here and not go inside small dark spaces ever again.
I don't know if we can commit to ever again, but we can maybe commit to like the next day.
Okay, I can take that.
Baby steps, one thing
Baby
at a time.
steps.
Alright. Okay, so you're standing before this massive bridge that looms into the darkness. What's the plan?
Well, for one thing, I put my skateboard back into my inventory.
It disappears into your inventory.
Okay. I think we should do this very carefully, on foot, and just kind of mosey on over, you know? Nothing's wrong with a good mosey. Let's try this. I will go first, since I think I'm the lightest one here, probably. other than Rosalind, but she's flying, so we're hovering, I guess. Okay.
All right.
Very carefully.
Okay, so Stoop, sounds like you're taking the lead on this. Why don't you roll a careful roll just to keep an eye out for dangers? And meanwhile, Rosalind, go ahead and change your thing to reduced max HP, because basically the spider's venom really, really hurts you to the point where you are extra weakened.
Where do I put that?
Under moderate consequence, you can just write that in.
Oh, you can add one in.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I can invoke that against you in the future.
No.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna put less HP because I don't remember.
Oh, there, yeah, don't worry. I'll remember it. All right. So Stoops,
So I got a 4.
you decide that caution would be prudent in this moment, and you carefully take the lead, making sure there's nothing sinister lurking on this bridge. No Balrogs, no terrifying, dwarven machines, nothing like that. And as you move forward, you actually get a sense that there is very little danger on this bridge. And you manage to lead your people to the other side. And when you all arrive here, it took a while crossing this bridge, it was very long, but when you arrive, you stand before a massive, beautifully ornate stone doorway, with no real sense of how it opens, except for these 5 obelisks that stand in front of it. And you can see that each obelisk has a rotatable cube on it that has a rune carved. And Sparky is able to tell you that these runes mean nothing to her.
It's a puzzle.
Sparky
boy.
looks at you and says, "Hey, it's just a dead end, right? We just have to go back."
No. It's worse.
Oh no.
We have to think about this.
Oh no.
Ew. What if we just throw the rocks everywhere until something happens?
Well, something bad could happen then, but...
Oh.
Hmm.
Can you use your friends, the Wi-Fi friend, and ask them?
I can try to ask the Wi-Fi.
It's fair to say,
Let's-
Aveline, you have no idea what this means. This dog is speaking on a different level.
Talk to the Wi-Fi?
So, do you know what the internet is?
No.
Cool.
Friends.
Okay.
She talks to it in her brain.
I can access vast stores of knowledge with minimal effort, but the game doesn't like it.
All right. Fair enough.
Trust me, weirder things have happened. All right. Let's do some Google foo.
Okay, you begin searching your databanks to see if there's anything you can find about this specific puzzle. Since it is fairly specific, this is going to be a difficulty of 4.
Okay.
So roll clever, then add your 2 from your...
So that's 4 exactly.
That is a 4 exactly. You look up in the Phantasia wiki, which has, 3 contributors, that there is... there's a quick kind of basic walkthrough to this, but you don't really get to access that much. The only things you get to access are the exact symbols that you need.
Okay. Okay. All right, we got this.
And you
We
learn that
got this.
the other way to do this puzzle was to go back into those tunnels and find the dead ends where it has a series of runes, and then from those runes you can extrapolate what the password is. But you don't have to do any of that.
Also, we might have blown up some of those tunnels, so it would have
Yes.
been very difficult.
Yeah, that would have been difficult.
All right, so Stoops, you just kind of get up on your hind legs and just spin these things around, getting into the right symbols. All right, excellent. You can see that as you're doing this, Sparky kind of leans into the other to the non-corgis of the group, and she just says, "It's really she's a very impressive dog. She's just kind of going at it. I don't really understand what's going on myself."
Yeah, it
She's-
seems she started out as a sign.
Yeah, no, she's really good. She's one of my best friends. And now she's gonna do the job of the heroes. So we'll see how that works out. I hope that doesn't mean she'll leave me in this cave. I'm a little worried about that. Don't tell her I said it.
Oh, okay. Well, here, bright side. If she was a sign once, I imagine that's a sort of a hopeful thing for the rest of us, right?
Yeah, that's that's really true. Actually, so you want to be a poet, which is really cool. And I was thinking, Aveline, you don't seem to enjoy mentoring too much. What is it that you like?
What do I like? Honestly, I would enjoy a boat, a pole, and some bait.
You want to go fishing?
Yeah.
Well,
Just
we blew up a
retire and-
dock, so I can't
fish.
recommend it there.
Oh well. Maybe one day I'll find a nice lake.
Yeah, we can look for one. Once we find a lake, I'll write you a ladder. And then, where do you live?
Oh wait. Well, I guess in the starter village.
That is known as Star Town, the starting
Star
town.
I live in Star Town, but
Whoa, is everybody made of stars there? Because you know, like how Elfwood is filled with elves, and how Faerun is filled with fairies. So does that mean everyone in Town is a star?
from their attitudes, you would think it.
That's really cool. I'll write you a letter as soon as I find a nice lake so you can go fishing.
Star Town is also, to your knowledge, Aveline, in ruins because it was attacked early on, and that's when you were kind of
That's when I
murdered by
died?
a lich. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'll be going back to Star Town.
Oh,
But then you all hear a resounding rumble, this time a less perilous sounding rumble, as the doorway leading forward slowly opens before you. And as it does, you can see something emerging from the darkness ahead. There is a kind of long, grand hallway that leads to what looks like a very imposing dwarven crafted vault door, except this door is ever so slightly ajar, and you can tell that because there is some red light on the other side that is giving a small bit of illumination to the hallway in front of you, and that's where you see there are about 50 dwarven zombies standing between you and this vault entrance, shoulder to shoulder, eyes popping out, big disgusting beards, a lot of bone showing, weapons still in their hands. And as they look up to you, they start advancing upon you.
Can I shut the door?
No. You like spin the things, but it's still going through its opening animation, and you feel like you've only broken things at this point.
Oh no.
No.
I guess I'll invoke my stunt then to quick on the draw to go first during this combat.
Excellent, great, sounds wonderful. Why don't the rest of you roll initiative? Ba-ba-da-ba. Get rid of the elves, get rid of Bane. Alright, so let me just add
Stooves
you
is
here.
the best dog name ever.
Thank you.
Stoobs. I love everything about Stoobs.
I'm very fond of Stoops as well.
Alright, so what did you all get for your quickness, except for you, Aveline?
I got a 3.
3 for Rosalind and Stoobs. What'd you get, Katie?
Oh, sorry. I forgot to tell you. I got a 2.
2. Alright. Let's roll for some of the NPCs here. I mean, the other NPCs. It's going to be a 0 for... Okay, so that's a 2 for Sparky. And the zombies, this will shock you all, are extremely slow, so they could get a -2 to this roll, for a total of 0. Waiting for zombies. And Aveline was going to give you a 7. Alright, so Aveline, you are up first. What do you do?
I would like to just attack the nearest zombies.
Straightforward and great, I love it.
Yeah.
You all hear the diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle as combat begins, and the tempo increases, and immediately Aveline just leaps out and slashes. What kind of weapons and armor you got? What's happening?
The biggest, most ridiculous armor you can think of is exactly what she's wearing. It's like, if the resolution was high enough, it would be very intricate. but it just makes her sprite look like twice as big as it should be.
I love it. Like a little
And
head.
the sword is as tall as her sprite is.
Oh, hell yes! I love it. So you leap in an
So I
attack.
hand her.
Go ahead and roll forceful to slice through these zombies. These zombies are going to roll their forceful to just take it.
Okay. And then can I invoke Warrior Maiden?
Yes, you may. What does this do again?
So that's just an aspect.
You would
so
have to
I
spend a
just-
fate point to do this.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. It's not 10. Okay, so let's roll a forceful. So 4 plus 2 is 6.
That's a 6 against a 2. You obliterate.
dope.
You kind of do, I don't know if you ever played the first Final Fantasy, but when the fighter gets more attacks, they basically go, ha, 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 just a bunch. And you do exactly that, where you just leap and just start doing this, and you all just see damage numbers springing up out of these zombies. And the first 5 or so are just cleft in twain, leaving zombie bits strewn about the place. And then Aveline kind of leaps back and stands in sort of a turn-based standing order, ready to keep going. Beautiful. Rosalind. The
Yes.
turn generator picker picks you to go next.
Oh, wonderful.
And all the combat participants wait patiently for you to do something.
Wow,
We all
thanks.
stand there like this.
All
Yeah,
slightly
just
bobbing.
in an action pose.
I have a flower that I picked up that was called Indigo Dream.
Uh-huh.
Can I try to like grow it slightly so that way it'll just pop up and like wrap around some of the zombies' legs?
Okay, this sounds like a clever use of your magic, so go ahead and roll clever.
Oh dang, it's not flashy?
We can go flashy. We can go flashy.
Yay!
Zombies are going to fend with their forcefulness because that's what they'll probably do every time. So you got a
That's
1
fine.
versus their 1. Would you like to invoke an aspect at all, or keep it at that?
Yes, I will do recklessly joyful because making flowers is joyful.
Excellent. So you use your power of optimism to increase your potence of your magic. Reduce your fate point by 1. And I get an additional 1. And I gotta start using fate points against you. I'm really bad at that. But I get
no,
1
keep
earlier.
forgetting you have them. It's fine.
I have a feeling these zombies are about to do some bad things.
Oh no.
Awesome. So that was a total of +2. So you obliterate about. Well, we'll say you kind of put a sort of a slowing status effect on these zombies. So I will go ahead and create an aspect and deal a bit of damage to them. But this aspect will be called. What should we call this one? Just ensnared. Ensnare. If I can type. All right. So that happens to the zombies, and one of them kind of falls apart as you do that. And now it is over to Sparky. She's just kind of like gonna yell a little bit, but is inspired by Aveline's just incredible display. And she's gonna go, "I just want to say I'm really inspired by you!" And she leaps in, like swings her massive pick, and just like brings it down on one of the zombies. And she gets a 2 versus their -1. You see that she just slams one zombie, and as she picks up the pickaxe, its corpse flies off and just gets a bowling strike of some other ones, and just like bits of zombie dwarf are just flying through the air. And she's like, "Aveline, you really inspired me." And you see like there's a little like fond relationship meter that just keeps rising above her head. Like
Aw.
you've now achieved relationship C with Sparky. All right, Stoobs, it's your turn.
Okay, I would actually. Is it possible for me to set up an advantage by like herding the zombies together to create like a better shot for Aveline and Rosalind and Sparky?
You can absolutely create an advantage. Just tell me how you're doing it exactly.
Classic herd dog style, just running around.
You get a
and nipping
sheepdog?
at their ankle. Yes.
Love it.
Amazing.
This could be flashy or forceful, your choice. As you just see a tiny corgi go, "Arr, arr, 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 arr," and just trying to herd zombies.
Okay, that is a forceful 2.
A forceful 2. Okay.
Yes.
Zombies are going to use their cleverness to try and prevent this tactic, which, hey, guess what they're bad at? They get a -1, which means you succeed with style, which for creating an advantage, I think, you discover and you create an aspect and get 2 free invocations of it.
Yeah.
So if that's okay for everybody, I'm just going
Alright.
to upgrade Ensnared to 2 free invocations there.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful work.
Amazing.
Oh,
Sheep
no.
on trials.
Rosalind's ear fell off. Okay, the dwarf zombies are gonna go, and they are not thrilled with what's been happening so far. Aveline, you have a group of them striking at you with a 0. I'm gonna invoke their hidden aspect of theirs. Excuse me. To let them re-roll that. And they get, please be better than a 0, a 2. So please tell me how you're defending as a horde of zombies come at you.
Okay, so this horde of zombies.
Oh, you're muted, Abby.
Can I only do like one action on a turn, essentially?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can
Then
set
yeah,
up
I
things for
will.
later if you would like.
Well, I was just trying to decide if I should defend my allies or attack. But I think I'm just gonna attack.
Well, right now you just need to defend yourself against their attack.
Oh,
So basically describe what happens as they kind of strike and claw at you.
that makes more sense. Yeah, as they come to attack me, Aveline's gonna take her shield and just like use it to bash them back.
Love it. All right, sounds like you're forcefully defending yourself, so roll that. You're trying to beat a 2.
3.
You easily do it. They bounce off your shield that you stand there very stalwart, and you kind of yawn for a second because it's like, you've dealt with a lich. Like, zombies are nothing. Beautiful.
Like all video game mentors, I am indestructible until my untimely death.
I am, however, going to invoke your aspect against you. Can you remind me what your trouble is?
Coded to die.
Coded to die. I'm going to invoke
Oh,
that
no.
to force you to re-roll what you just rolled.
That's fair.
Oh no.
That's fair. Another 3.
So a zombie gets up from behind you, just chomps one of your gigantic pauldrons and just breaks its teeth. Like nothing, nothing hurts at all. And it is now your turn, Aveline.
Okay, now I get to attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, so that one that attacked me, like, tried to chomp on my pauldron, I'm gonna spin around and attempt to whack him.
Love it. Forceful attack. Go for it. They're going to do a forceful defend with their zombiness. So that 2 against a 1.
2, yeah.
You kind of slam that zombie. You kind of just like, you strike at it, and you strike with such force that it just kind of like spins and hurtles off the edge of the bridge from behind you. And there are still approximately 7 or so zombies left at this point, and it is Rosalind's turn.
Nice.
It is. And I'm probably not gonna blow them up with the bomb because that was a bad choice last time.
If it helps, the ceiling is way, way higher above you in this place than it was in the last place.
Okay, alright, well there are a bunch who are herded in the middle.
You do.
Who are wrapped with vines. It might not be a bad idea to try to blow them up. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Rosalind's not smart. Let's do this again.
All right, go ahead and roll forceful, and you can use ensnared and invoke that for free if you would like to boost it or re-roll it.
I will. Okay. So, what does the thing do? I can re-roll, or
You
can
can re-roll or +2, your choice.
I'll just take a +2.
Okay, so ensnared is now down to a 1 free invocation, bringing you to a 4. The zombies are just going to take it because they don't know what else to do, and they get a 1. You succeed with such style that you gain a boost. As these zombies explode into beautiful chunks, and there is no sort of rumbling that follows afterwards. You are very pleased, and I'm going to go ahead and say that your boost is called Level Up, because you all see a beam of light shoot out of Rosalind, and a very sort of happy resounding gong sound, and the zombies kind of like shield their eyes from this, and the temporary adrenaline rush you get from this can be used as your boost at a future time. Alright, on to Sparky's turn. She is just honestly having the best time right now. So she's gonna swing at the zombies and does a point of damage. She like slaps one onto the ground and then just like puts her lantern on top of it, and it's just stuck, so it just gives up and disappears into a burst of particles. Bring it to Stoobs.
Okay.
There's only 2 zombies left.
All right. So I'll go ahead and just chomp. You know, this will be
Classic.
disgusting, but you know, it works.
It's a meaty bone. Ooh.
So that. Ooh.
Would you like to use Ensnared? Because there's still a free invocation for that.
Yes, I would.
Okay. So you can re-roll or add 2.
That's a 2.
All right. Against a zombie, 0. You
Haha.
take the leg away from a zombie and it falls down. Then you take its head away, and their limbs are still moving and stuff. You just kind of like throw them into a pile where they're not going to bother anybody anymore.
Ugh.
And just kind of spit onto the ground. Most of the food you've eaten in this game has been great. This is the first time where it's like, oh, this is what bad stuff tastes like.
Ugh. Anyone have mouthwash?
All right, there is a lone dwarf zombie left. Will it be the hero that its people need? Will it take one of you down? Let's see. All right, it is basically going to strike out and attack Stoobs. Just gonna lunge at you. So defend how you think you would defend Stoobs.
I'm gonna skedaddle out of there as fast. Ooh, that's a 5.
It's going to use a hidden aspect to reroll, so I'm going to spend a fate point to do that. You can see just the zombie seems to be filled with a foul vigor. And on its reroll, it gets a 1.
Still not.
You defend with such success that it just kind of slams its head onto the ground and is just wailing after you. And now, honestly, you all feel a little bit sorry for the zombie because it's trying so hard and it's just not doing anything. Aveline, it's your turn. Oh, you muted.
I kind of feel bad for it. Honestly, it's like the last one, and it just keeps coming towards us. It's like,
Ah.
Maybe you can mentor it in stopping.
Ugh.
I don't think you can mentor a zombie.
Sparky
But,
says,
like-
but have you tried? I'm sure you could do it.
You're so good at mentoring.
Evelyn, so is the zombie just like walking towards us then?
Yeah, basically. It's kind of
Okay.
shambling. It's trying to get. It's actually trying to stand up right now because it lost its balance after attacking Stoob. So it's really just slowly getting up like one of those robots you see.
Okay. I was just gonna like take my sword to turn it around and see if it just walked away.
It looks like it's about to just fall onto you.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Goodbye. And I will attack.
Okay.
I will attack it just to put this zombie out of its misery.
All right, it gets a 1 to defend versus your forceful attack. Do you get a 2? That is enough. Please describe how you dispatch this zombie.
Aveline will just like chop off the head and just put it, just like add it to the pile.
There is just a pile of zombie limbs just writhing around in the corner.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
But they are thoroughly defeated. And you all hear victory music and you all feel your hands shoot up into the air in victory before you continue on.
I'm standing on my hind legs involuntarily, like, okay.
You can see that to your experience points, you all got a mentor bonus, whatever that means.
I don't understand half of these floating words, but that's okay.
All right. So that just leaves a now very emptied corridor standing in front of you, leading to this very sinister-looking vault door ahead of you.
I don't like this.
Oh, yes. Caution. Scary. Considering.
You can see Sparky just sits next to you and goes, yes.
Well, there's no going back, so I'm choosing forward.
Zah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And as a beautiful team, a wonderful unit, confident in your own abilities, you start walking down this corridor. You hear your footsteps echoing all around you. You head towards the front of the vault door, and just looking at it, it looks like this would have been hell to open. You're not even sure how to open it, but fortunately for you, it is open already. And Aveline, you probably are the one who reaches onto the side of this slightly ajar door and swing it open for the rest of your companions to walk inside. You see that the most striking thing in this vault is a massive, crackling portal, streaking red lightning across the room. There is a body of some kind of quadrupedal demon that lies splattered across the ground, while a similar, though living demon stands patiently, staring at a robed figure on the far side of the room. And this robed figure stands nearby, holding a chunk of gleaming metal ore in their hand. and the demon that is next to them seems transfixed by it. And suddenly the demon's head snaps around, this kind of like hell wolf looking creature. It's kind of a mess of pixels. It looks very grungy and dark compared to what you're used to in Phantasria. And as it looks at the rest of you, you kind of see this like kind of glowing redness to its eyes. Then the robed figure turns their head, revealing the ash-white bones of a skeletal face. And he smiles a confident grin, and then he points to you, Rosalind, with a bony finger. And to you, Rosalind, he says, "A fairy! Where were you when I needed you, eh? You would have made a fine addition to my collection." And with his free hand, he pulls out a necklace, and you see there is a number of vials filled with fairies. And he kind of cackles, and sort of tucks them back away. And then he casts a very sour look towards you, Aveline. And he says, "I wonder what brought you here. I came looking for an army to animate, but as you can see, I have found something far greater," motioning towards the terrifying-looking portal next to all of you. And with that, he calmly hops into it and disappears from sight. The demon creature looks at you, and it gives a snarl, and you can see there's this sort of just steam billowing from its breath, its throat lit up with some kind of fire, and then it follows its new master into this portal. And you are left standing in this room alone. The portal still open, still furiously spewing energy across the place, lighting everything in a horrible, bloody red.
To go after them.
Yes.
You can
Two
see
things that I really did not like about that man. One was that he had a bunch of fairies in prison, and the second is that is dog slavery. I go.
you can see that Sparky's just like, "Hey, let's go into the scary hell portal. We got this."
All right.
Really hope
Alright.
that man has a quill and ink I could use.
All right, everybody. The path to success is to take a massive, determined action. I choose this one.
And like a hero, you see the silhouette of Aveline just disappear into this portal, and you see lightning streaks out across the room as she does so, and the world twists ever so slightly in the moments that happens. You recognize this as a rift bleed, a source of the Maya that is causing destabilization in this region, and you know that you need to close it somehow. And you all...
Let's say explode it, but we have to go through it. So
and you all head inside, and there is a horrible, strange tingling sensation like your very DNA is being rewritten as you leap into this portal, and there is darkness. And there is a single word that you see in this darkness, and it says, "Loading." And
oh no!
No.
Oh
you suddenly find yourself hurtling through the sky. You are falling down onto a something that is not Phantasria. It is something completely different. It is a red planet covered with dust. Looking up, you can see that there is an Earth-like planet strangely close by, and you are falling through the sky. You see there are these demon creatures with bat-like wings flying through the air, and as you're falling and falling and falling, you see there is some sort of tech institute just below you. Not that you know what one of those is, but you see technology. It's grungy. It is muddy. The textures here are not great. You can't really make out a lot of what you're seeing, but as you're falling, you can see that the Lich has created a small, gateway for himself and teleports away to a distant satellite tower. Again, not that you know what one of those is. And moments after he arrives there, you see this great, sickening green energy shoot up like a laser beam out of this tower. And you can see that there are creatures roaming around this place, and as you're falling closer and closer and closer to the ground, you can see these creatures have this green glow to their eye, and they are the most frightening and hideous things you have ever seen, and some of them are quite impossible to even tell what's going on there. But it's not all bad. As you go hurtling towards the ground and possibly to your own demise, you can see that there are parts of you that are equipped with new things, new powers, new mechanics, if you will. And as you're falling, I would like each of you to describe how you all just look a bit grittier, a bit more sci-fi. How have you changed in this world that you know to be called gloom?
I think the biggest change is Aveline's armor.
Yes.
So it's not like medieval fantasy armor anymore. It's like
Full Space Marine.
Like Space Marine,
Love
yeah, or like Halo, maybe.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, you see that before your very eyes, Aveline is just changing into this really cool, like sci-fi armor that is equally as bulky and ridiculous, but just looks rad. It's got these glowing LEDs on it. It's amazing.
She still has a sword and shield, though.
Yes, love it. That's really cool. The shield is like a hollow shield. It's like got electricity and it's like got hexagons all over it and stuff. And the sword is like electricity shooting off of it. It's rad as hell. Metal AF, you might say. What about you, Stoobs? What changes do we see for you?
You see that there's now like a scar going through Steve's
Yes!
eye. Like, a chunk of her ear is missing. The
Love
other
it.
is a cybernetic ear. There's a cybernetic paw.
Yes.
And there's like a little antenna sticking out.
Incredible. Love it. Love it. What about you, Rosalind?
Well, I think Rosalind got a different voice actor because in these games they do not use high-pitched, like,
Yes.
girl voices.
Oh, please, yes.
So, it's just like immediately everything is down here now when she talks.
That's incredible. What does she look like? What physical changes?
The pink hair is gone. It is just kind of like black, short buzz cut instead. And there's still like elf ears, but they're instead kind of more like an alien elongated kind of thing going on.
Beautiful.
And she has green flashing eyes. Like her whole pink color scheme is gone. It's so
man.
gone. Everything is just kind of like all black and dark.
We got the rare Rosalind skin for this one.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you're all plummeting to the surface of Mars as we speak, and you slam down, each of you doing a hero pose in a row. 1, 2, 3, hero pose. And you just send up, red earth scattering into the air. And of course, Sparky is with you too. She is wearing kind of like very cool looking sort of cyber armor. Her lantern has transformed into some kind of alien rocket launcher that she's just got on her back. And, she's got an eye patch and there's a cigar now sticking out of her mouth. And you're all just slamming down onto onto the grounds of gloom. Now, here's how gloom modifies things. Number 1, any forceful approach you make while in gloom gets an automatic +2 bonus. Number 2, your speed and jump height are greatly increased, which is a little meaningless in the abstracts that we work in, but it's something to keep in mind. You find yourself whenever you jump, you just go into the air. Oh, Abby, yes!
There we go.
Yes!
Ah!
Oh my god, that's amazing. Beautiful.
Oh, you look so cool!
So yeah, higher jumps, longer jumps, and you all gain this instinctive knowledge of a new ability. Any character can splatter another, capital S, splatter another character when they defeat them. A successful splatter restores a single stress box of your choice. And don't worry too much about remembering those, I'll remind you. And of course, you all look more grizzled and sci-fi as well, on top of everything else. But the sinister Lich appears to have portaled himself to the top of this tower and is undergoing some devious ritual, and he has the all you need, as well as some fairy hostages. So my question to you, new badasses, as the metal music plays, and I wish I had metal music for this, but getting new music every week is really hard, so I apologize ahead of time. What do you all do?
I suddenly feel the weight of 3 worlds on my shoulder. I have a desire to drink something for the first time.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh,
don't-
okay.
Sparky says,
It,
I've got some poetry for them. Right here. Because apparently it's a missile launcher that you cock.
I believe that my voice box is different now.
You're a cyber doggy now.
I would
Oh
like
my-
to rain destruction upon this fiend
All right.
for the atrocities that he has committed.
So Aveline, as the sort of de facto leader of this squad, you immediately notice that there are three distinct pathways that show up on your helmet's internal HUD, just beep,
this is
all in
new.
front of you. And you can see that there are three distinct pathways you can take. There is a gondola lift that appears to have a cable that leads directly to the top of this antenna where you want to go. However, it is currently surrounded by just a swarm of demons. There is, you can see that there are a bunch of extremely convenient girders sticking out of the satellite tower that looks like you could all platform up to the very top of the tower if you wanted to go that route. There's also a large, very large demon just kind of floating in the distance. And you notice it because it like covers the sun for a second and just kind of blots it out. You believe that you could potentially, if you all found a way to bring this thing to the ground, you could turn it against its original purpose and maybe pilot it
Ooh.
to your destination. So with those three distinct pathways highlighted before you, what are your suggestions?
Where is the Lich located? Like, you said he went to the tower.
The very top of this large satellite tower.
Okay.
Apparently
Well,
bad guys
essentially-
have instant teleportation technology, which is really just cheating.
Yeah, kinda.
Makes sense for an old game, though.
I'll turn to my companions and ask, which way do you believe would be the most efficacious?
Commander, and I turn to her. It's like, Halloween.
Yeah, efficacious means efficient, quickest. Okay, yeah. Alright, then, forward, I suppose?
So forward.
As she starts walking, like, she gets a nice stomp that she wasn't getting before.
Yes, absolutely. There's a slightly sort of hydraulic sound to it. You don't know why, but it sounds great. So which path? Gondola, platforming up the tower, or hijack a beast?
I was gonna say platforming, honestly.
Now let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head, making a beeline for the tower. You see there are, swarms of demons around, and the closer you get, there are some, little minions that just start making their way towards you. And you see just bodies strewn about the place, like ripped in half and like splattered against the wall. Just these bodies of demons and people alike. It is just a gore fest in gloom. And as you make your way forward, you all discover that you are now armed with a very powerful arsenal. What does each of you, what is your current weapon set? We went over Aveline's. What does everybody else have?
Stoop, you go first. What do you have?
Oh god. What kind of weapon would a corgi have?
A cyber corgi. Maybe you have a laser you can like shoot at people or
I
something.
was thinking that, yes. Yeah. I
Love
think
it.
she has a laser weapon.
So we see that like a little panel just opens on her back, and out comes an absurdly large laser cannon that just starts pointing in directions of nearby hostiles. What about you, Rosalind?
I'm trying to think what the equivalent of like garden magic is in this.
You can have space magic, like making black holes.
Do they?
Ooh.
Do these kind of games have magic at all?
The demons often like throw fireballs at you and stuff.
Oh, okay, so it is a thing. Cool. I guess I just have like dark, hardcore, gritty magic.
Yes! There's like
Going
purple
for
flames
destruction
burning in your
now.
hands. Love it. Beautiful. Great. So you start advancing forward, and as these, demons like start crawling over you, you just let out the explosions that fly, laser beams, dark magic, and evil portals that just suck them into outer space. You can see that Aveline just like stuns them with her electro shield before just slashing them with her electro blade. And there are just bits of these demons flying up into the air. You have never in your history of living in Phantasia seen so much stuff come out of a single entity. Usually when you hit someone, like, some pixels appear and they just disappear into nothingness. These things violently explode and just splatter you with gore as they do so. When you make your way, when you fight your way to the base of the tower, the platforming begins. I need you all to tell me how you're going about this platforming, and let's see how well it goes.
I think she equips her skateboard.
Oh.
It now looks very sleek.
It's a hoverboard. It is straight up a like, it's got devil horns on it. It's like got these red underlighting to it. It looks sick as hell.
And she is going to treat this as just the biggest skate park that anyone has ever seen.
You're going to use your burgeoning Honey Talk skills to trick your way up these platforms. This is very flashy, so go ahead and roll flashy.
Oh, God.
The rest of you, how are you platforming up this place?
Utilizing my new hydraulics, I'm gonna use them to jump higher to get onto the platform.
You have so much airtime, it is absurd. And you can control where you go as well, and little flame jets shoot out. It's amazing.
Have I unlocked double jump yet?
Yes, you have.
Oh!
You don't know how she does it, she just apparently can just do it again. For that, sounds like you're utilizing your forceful or careful works for this, I think, as you make your way up. And then Rosalind, how are you making your way up the platforms?
Well, now with my new glowing green evil oozing wings,
Yes.
I want to just kind of like flashily slowly fly up with my eyes also glowing darkly green.
That's amazing.
Just vengeance on my mind.
Go ahead and roll flashy for your, or forceful actually, either would work for this, as you use your new powers to ascend. And you can see that as you're all doing this, so you see that with a massive rocket launcher in her hand, Sparky sees you all kind of like leap up with varying, levels of skill, and she says, intuitively, she doesn't know where these words come from, but she looks at the ground and she says, "Rocket jump," and she points her missile at the ground, leaps up into the air, and flies and hurtles up to the sky, passing all of you with alarming speed. And she's like, "This is awesome!" Meanwhile, let's resolve what's happening with the rest of you as your ally leaps into the fray. Commander Aveline, you exert the power of your new jumps to expertly land on every edge, and there are some that crumble before you, but you grab onto a ledge and haul yourself up at the last second and effortlessly make your way up. Some of these winged demons come at you, and you just slash them with a great big arc of your sword. Like, it even sends out laser bolts, like when you do a certain cool slash, and just cuts through these demons. And there's just a rain of demon blitz down below you. Rosalind, you ascend using your dark vengeance magic power, and as you do so, these things come at you, and you just conjure a shield that when they strike, they just simply explode. You very capably slowly ascend your way up. Stoobs, you flew too close to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
As you're doing these sick tricks, you can see that there is the sort of precision that there aren't enough ramps. You really need more ramps for what you're trying to do, and it's a lot of very flat geometric surfaces. So you do some cool kit flips and stuff, but for the most part, you really struggle. So unfortunately, you are going to take, as you're distracted by trying to do these tricks, you're going to take 2 points of damage from nearby demons who are scratching away at you. So you need to reduce a stress box of some kind.
That would be
the second or third.
The second one?
It's worth 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Except I'm going to. What's your trouble, Stoobs?
That depends on which side of the coin you want to go with. That's the blue screen of death, or literally just a dog.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say blue screen of death hits you. So I'm gonna reduce my fate points by 1.
Oh.
And I'm going to add a -2 to your roll, meaning you take an additional 2 damage. As basically mid-jump, you just glitch, and you kind of wipe out. Thanks to the others' rolls, they managed to like stop you from falling to your death, but you are badly injured from the nearby demons.
Okay, so that means that I have to take
A total
another
of 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay.
So you can either do a stress box and a minor consequence, or a moderate consequence. Or you can get taken out, that's also an option.
I will take a... How much does the minor consequence take away again?
It is a new aspect that I can invoke against you.
Okay, but then what stress box would I need to take?
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I took that.
So you're taking 4 damage, so you'd either take away a moderate consequence, or a minor and a second stress box. So a total of 4.
Okay. So I'll take the minor consequence.
Okay.
And do a stress box.
The minor consequence I'm going to give you is that when one of these things bit you, they gave you something called a firebrand curse, and Stoobs, you are now perpetually on fire. Which looks pretty cool, but also it is slowly weakening you. So go ahead and add firebrand curse.
Fudge McMuffin.
Yes.
Wow. And I now have dark magic and can't help with that.
So go ahead and add that. That's now a thing I can invoke against you. But
Okay.
Regardless of the troubles along the way, you all manage to reach the top of the satellite tower. And as you get up there, you can see that the Lich is standing, channeling some sort of dreadful spell. The fairies are glowing with power as he seems to be siphoning their very life force to do this. And he is extending his influence not just to the dead creatures of this world, but the living ones as well. Every demon, every corpse soon to be under his control. And if he gets these things back through that portal, he is going to decimate Phantasia with their over-the-top gratuitous violence. And maybe he has a quill and ink on him as well. So, as you stand before this terrible Lich, the one who killed you, Aveline, I would like all of you to roll quickness to determine how turns happen.
Your background is so cool too,
Oh my gosh.
Abby.
I've got too many bells and whistles.
You're
Wonderful.
so cool.
Aveline is going to suggest, you know what? We should maybe just. I wish I had some words of wisdom for just turning around and running, but we should just turn around and run, and close the portal so that he can't come back.
He has my. Oh right, I'm edgy now. There's no way I will leave my fallen companions behind.
Well, yeah, let's grab them.
They're around him, like they're.
Yeah, but let's not actually fight him. We will
Okay.
die.
Okay. Yeah,
Now-
we can do that. Let's.
It is fair to say that the Lich would have had, triple skulls across his head when he faced you, Aveline. Things have changed, and now you're all very well equipped with devices of violence. Not to say he isn't
Okay.
dangerous, but it's a fair fight.
Really? With him controlling, like, everybody?
It'll have to be a quick fight.
Alright, well, alright. We get in, we get out, and then we make like a tree. Leaf.
Okay, so quickness
Alright,
rolls.
Commander.
What did everybody get for their quicknesses?
I got.
a 2.
I think I did good. I
2
don't
for
remember
Stoobs?
what it was. I got a 4.
4 for Rosalind. Very good. And I'll roll for the Lich. And Aveline, are you using your ability to go first?
No, I can only do that once
Got
per
it.
session, I think.
Okay, so go ahead and roll quickness and tell me what you get.
I got a 3.
Got a 3, awesome. All right. So, the heavy metal score intensifies, and it like mixes orchestral stuff in there too, and there's a bit of screech singing in there as well. And determined to free your people, Rosalind, you are the first to act. What do you do?
Can I use like dark magic to make like tendrils come out and just grab them off of him and
Interesting.
take my people
Yes.
off of him?
This would be an overcome action. So, and it sounds like you are trying to be quick, so roll your quickness. And we'll say the difficulty for this, it's going to be quite difficult. We're going to say it's a 4.
Oof. Okay.
But remember, you have your own aspects that you can invoke. You have your Elven Blade still, and training montage, and your level up boost is still there if you need it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do level up boost and try to reroll.
Okay. So level up boost is gone as you feel the surge of your new, powers. Getting to grips with them rather. You reroll and you get a 4. That's exactly what you need.
Yes. Okay.
So you send a dark tendril out, and you all hear this disgusting sort of oozy, inky sound as it just reaches out towards the lich, and it grabs the necklace and tears them away. And you pull them back towards you, and you quickly nestle these fairies next to you. And you have saved your fairy friends. Now you just need to get them out of here. And the lich says, "You'll pay for that, fairy."
You have a stupid sounding voice.
How dare you? Are you saying this undercuts the drama a bit? See how you like one of these. And the lich sort of eyes go burning emerald with flame, and he leans back and just summons a massive behemoth to take form in front of you. He's basically creating an advantage right now. So I'll roll for him creating an advantage. He's using his cleverness to do so. He's quite a clever chap, believe it or not. So he did, a simple success for creating this terrifying demon creature. And that means that he creates... He discovers an aspect and gets a free invocation of it. So I'm just going to call this Hell Beast. And there is now a Hell Beast on the field that he can invoke to basically do more cool things. So here's Hell Beast. And you basically just see some giant, multi-limbed behemoth with this glowing, burning eye that also has acid dripping out of it at the same time somehow. And teeth. It's covered in teeth just all over. It pulls itself out of this primordial magic-y ooze. It just goes... and is ready to cause a lot of pain to the rest of you. Aveline, it's your turn.
All right. I think, seeing as how things are going right now, who would be like my nearest ally?
Honestly, you can choose either Stoobs or Rosalind. Either would be applicable.
Okay.
Whatever
All
you
right.
want.
Then I think honestly, seeing as how Rosalind is trying to save her fairy friends, I'm going to defend Rosalind.
Awesome.
So that'll be my turn, and then I would like to use my stunt.
To get a +2.
Plot armor to get a +2 to defend.
All right. So you're basically creating an advantage by setting up this defense. So go ahead and roll your forceful and add another 2 to it, and we'll see what kind of advantage you create.
Okay, so it's gonna be a 5 total.
5 total. That is a
Whoa!
critical advantage you just created, which means that you get you discover an aspect and get 2 free invocations of it.
Nice.
You're just swimming in invocations. This is great. So we'll just call this Mentor's Defense.
Ooh.
And then either of your allies can use this whenever they need it. Stoobs, it is up to you. What is your action?
Target acquired. I'm gonna shoot him.
A massive, hologram of a target appears. Just and you hear the sounds of locked on, locked on, locked on. And you fire.
That is a +2 though, because it's
+2?
a forceful action.
Yes, because
So
we
it's
are in
just a
gloom.
straight 2.
A 2. All right, the Lich will defend with a magical barrier. And only gets a 1. However, he will use the free invocation of Hell Beast to get an additional +2 to that, making it a 3. So as you launch this beam out, the Hell Beast leaps in front, and you see a bit of it tears off, and just orange goo sprays everywhere. But the Lich is unharmed, and he goes, Rosalind, it's your turn again.
Cool. Is it possible to get my friends out of there and then we could do like a co-op attack where we all
You can create an advantage to like set up a co-op attack, or you can just attack yourself and let somebody else join in. It's up to you.
well, no, like with all the fairies. Can I get them out of there and then do like a co-op fairy attack?
You want to use your alt, maybe?
Yeah.
This sounds
Yes.
great. Yes. We'll roll for it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, that sounds flashy, right?
This sounds pretty flashy, because I imagine there's the action is paused as we all like see your cool special animation for like unbottling every fairy, and they shoot up one by one, just flying around like incredible beams of light. So yeah, you can roll flashy. And would you like to use any invocations? Any aspects for this?
Yeah, I think, so wait, which ones are on the board? Are those ones I can...
We have Elven Blade, Training Montage, you can't use Hell Beast because that's being used against you, and Mentor's Defense, which doesn't really apply to this situation.
I think Training Montage would be a good
Sounds
fit
good.
since, you know, we've prepped for this. We
Yeah.
had to bring out the last bomb a while to...
Aveline taught you how to expend a resource you didn't even know you had.
Exactly.
Okay, so that will require a fate point to be spent, so go ahead and spend that.
Totally.
And then you can re-roll or add a +2 to this.
I will take that +2, bringing me to a 5.
Okay. A terrifying ultimate move of all these fairies shooting into these beams of light appears. Yeah, the Lich is going to try and defend against this terrifying display. Let's see. Is there anything he can do to help out? Not really. He's going to quickly try and dodge out of the way of this because this seems terrible. And he gets a 2. Cool. I'm going to invoke a hidden aspect to increase that roll by 2, giving him a total of 4, which means your total was 5, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he quickly kind of like leaps out of the way and like creates a decoy lich that just disintegrates as just 1,000 laser beams of fairy energy just rain down upon him. You can see his decoy gets disintegrated immediately, but he is off to one side, and although he escaped the majority of the blast, still a lot of the laser beams hit him and put holes through his robes, and he goes, "Ah! Ah!" And he cries out in pain from your very powerful ultimate attack. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a fate point for that impressive display in helping your fairy folk get revenge. It is now the Lich's turn. He is very simply going to shoot his eye beams of death towards you, Stoobs. So how do you defend seeing eye beams of death come towards you?
I think how I always do. Get the heck out of Dodge.
All right, so you're quickly dodging. The Lich is gonna invoke his hidden aspect again to get a +2 to this for a total of 6.
Oh. Man. Oh, that was close. Okay. Yes.
So it looks like you take 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how can you handle that?
I can take another stress box, I think.
So do you have a second stretch box, like as a number 2 stress box is free?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can go ahead and check that. And absorb that damage as you see your health bar gets lowered. Cool. Aveline,
Oh boy.
it is back to you.
Okay. What are looking like our main options right now?
You've got a terrifying Lich who's going to end the world in front of you, and also who's killed you before. Your allies are getting a little bit beat up, and otherwise there's a Hell Beast on the field as well, just wreaking havoc. You're probably tanking it actually right at this moment, so.
Yeah, I would assume so.
So what are you doing?
I'm going to use. I would like to use my big and strong aspect and spend a fate point on that.
Okay.
To give myself a boost to taking on this Hell Beast one-on-one.
Okay, so you're creating an advantage. You just basically like shoring up your defenses, getting ready for a duel.
Yeah.
Actually, you could use an overcome to straight up get rid of the hell beast, so we can just say this is
Oh.
the fight that happens.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, alright, you're overcoming, and it sounds like you're doing it forcefully or flashily. Either works.
I've rolled a lot of forceful. We're gonna just keep on that. It's been working.
Okay, it gets an additional
So-
+2 because of gloom.
So 5 total.
5 total is exactly what you needed to get rid of the hell beast. So describe this epic battle you have with this creature and how you slay it.
So in this amazing power armor, Aveline just strides up to the hell beast with her electric short sword and hollow shield, and epic metal music swells as the battle. As they face off in battle, and it's a close battle, I would like to say, but
is.
it's one of those where it's like you're biting your nails the whole time. You don't know if it's gonna work out, but then when she does eventually triumph and knocks the hell beast out, she puts her foot on top of it, stands like
Yes.
for a second.
I imagine like your finishing blow is you engage your jump jets to sort of slide underneath it and just like carved it from below with your cool sword, and then just stand proudly on top of your trophy.
Yes.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible.
Fatality.
We actually had one of those last week. Stoobs, it's back to you.
Fatality.
Okay, so I am unfamiliar with the intricacies of the parent game, shall we say, that we are in right now.
Okay.
So
There
when
aren't
you say
many.
that This is sci-fi, correct?
Yes, it takes place in a
Cyberpunk.
future Earth, but Mars.
Okay. So if I wanted to hack something.
Okay, I like what you're saying. Okay, go on.
So we are currently on some kind of like
Some
satellite
technological
tower.
station, yeah.
Okay.
There's bits of glowing tech all around you.
So tell me if I can or cannot do this. Can I hack it to emit a pulse that will do damage to everything in the area?
Ooh.
Or maybe not everything,
Interesting.
but to the Lich primarily?
Yeah, you could do that. Absolutely.
Okay. So then I will spend a fate point on this as well to use my Wi-Fi connection
Okay.
aspect.
Sounds good. I imagine your massive laser cannon on your back just like gets a little satellite around it suddenly, and it just starts performing its secondary function. Okay, so it sounds like a clever use of
Okay.
your hacking skills. So roll clever and add 2. And I'll say the difficulty for this is going to be it's quite a tall order, so we could call it a 3. You got a total of 2.
I
you
could
like-
also re-roll, correct?
Yes.
Actually, are there any aspects that I can evoke for this?
Training montage is still in the field. Elven Blade, if you can find a way to use it. Otherwise, just your character aspects.
This could have the possibility of you doing something, so I'll say I'll also use training montage. So I'm gonna use 1 to re-roll and then
I cannot fathom what you were training to prepare you for this moment, but somehow you were, and it's beautiful. You're just like, did I learn hacking? I probably learned hacking.
Is there like a second training montage
Okay.
that we go back to, but it's like now in their new forms?
Yeah.
It
Yes.
shows, it shows Evelyn showing her how to hack. And it's
Remember
just
when
like
we were
this-
on the moon, learning how to rip demons in half and hack turrets?
Okay, so that is exactly 3.
Perfect.
Just barely made it.
The firewalls are strong, but you managed to breach through them just enough to gain control over some of the satellite's functions, and you alter some arrays, you reverse some circuitry, do some other sci-fi nonsense, and it starts emitting this sort of dangerous pulse, but only dangerous to undead creatures. And you hear the Lich go, ah, 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 wait, ah. I have the worst headache right now. What the hell? Rosalind, back to you.
Whew.
Okay, I'm gonna use that sword that we've had for the very longest time.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm just gonna go up to this really mean Lich, and
Yes.
I'm gonna be like, you really thought you could just use my friends as a tool? And I'm gonna stab him.
Okay. Just a
Oh,
straight
yeah.
stab in the face. Go for it. Let's see if we can Witch King this.
I'm assuming it's forceful.
This is a forceful attack, but you get a +2 bonus because of gloom.
Yes.
He is going to defend by simply laughing in your face, so he's going to use Flashy to see if his ego is enough to stop this blade.
Okay. Can I use the Elven Sword to reroll?
Yeah, you can invoke Elven Blade by spending a fate point to
Okay, I
get a
will do
reroll
that.
or +2.
I feel like I could probably do. Well, I already have a +2, so I can't have 2 +2s, right?
You can absolutely have 2 +2s.
Okay, I mean that sounds great. I'll just take the extra
gonna do a
4 and
5?
add it to the one. Yeah, that sounds very.
All right, so you got a 5. Lich is going to roll his Flashy, which is a +3. Let's see what he gets. It's a 2. You deal 3 damage, which is a critical strike. Let me tell you what that means, as I recall how this game works. You succeed with style. The attack deals damage. You may reduce damage to 1 to gain a boost. So would you like to deal 3 damage or 1 damage and gain a boost?
3 damage.
Sounds great. He just starts laughing in her face. A fairy with a blade. How cute. And as he is saying that, you shove it through his teeth and his jaw unhinges and like slams into the ground and explodes. He just goes, ah! And now he can't say anything anymore.
I like you better like that.
It is now the Lich's turn. The Lich is going to use a move that I like to call, what's it called? Oh my gosh. Load-bearing boss. As you see that his eyes are glowing with extra flame, and bits of his face are starting to crack and peel away, and his robes are fluttering with great energy, and you just feel the power of your sword striking through this creature, Rosalind. But you feel like there is some dangerous power building up and threatening to explode, and it's going to not only affect you, but this entire place, and it is going to be extremely dangerous. And it's building and building and building, and then you hear this strange sound. You hear and looking below the Lich, you can see that there is a hole that has been perfectly chainsawed through with the sickest looking chainsaw you've ever seen. It's like glowing with red hot blades, and Sparky leaps up through the hole and goes, "Alright, do you have any quill or ink I can take?" Ah! And she just swings this thing, slicing through the platform. The Lich starts to go off balance and starts falling, and bits of the green energy just pierce through him, and he says, "If I can't control this world, I'll die trying!" And things are reaching a critical pitch right now. How does everybody respond to this situation?
Where's the mithril ore in all of this? Is he still just holding
His
it?
robes are getting tattered by the energy of this place, and just like bits of his inventory are just popping out. So metal ore, some
scoop that up.
spooky looking, skeleton dice, some sort of evil scepter falls out, a quill and ink. That
Did she get it? Did Sparky get the quill and ink?
Sparky goes, "Woo!" and just like one-hands this chainsaw as she gently picks up the quill and ink. And there's some evil, Necronomicon tome that spills out of him as well.
I will grab the ore if I can.
You grab the ore and you hear a ba-dink.
Target acquired.
And now you can see that there is a sort of...
Wait, I'm gonna take that tome to sell it in the magic shop.
Okay, you pick up the tome.
Pick up everything you can.
Yeah, and I'll take the scepter and sell that in the shop too. I'll just take all these evil.
Sounds great.
Just all the evil. All the evil.
The foul energy of this place is starting to cascade, and now bits of the satellite are just exploding to and fro. The entire platform that you're standing on is getting slowly obliterated with you on it, and soon you're about to plummet to your demise, which for some reason is going to actually matter now when it didn't earlier. Because there's now lava below. There's lava all over below that is spewing up from the depths of Mars.
I would like to turn to our commander and just go, "How do we return?"
We run? We book it.
Affirmative. I run.
Okay.
We book it.
Everybody roll their quickness to escape this situation that they find themselves in. And Sparky will roll too.
Ooh.
Sparky gets a 2.
Okay.
Oh, Rosalind.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay, so here's what happens. Stoops, you engage some sort of boosting power that you didn't even know you had, and you kind of shoot out just like this really cool sort of chemtrail as you and you're on your hoverboard just flying through the air. Sparky is running as fast as he can too, but she's sort of laden down with this heavy bazooka. You notice, Aveline, that Rosalind is falling behind. And the reason for this is that as the Lich is sort of sending out his death burst, he is sort of like mirroring the sort of tendrils that you shut out earlier, Rosalind, and using them to hamper you and slow you down. And he says, "All I need is a fairy and I will live again!" And he has held her down. And you have a heartbeat to react, Aveline, to potentially try and save this person, but it could go very bad.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Okay, so you do a quick 180, you run over to Rosalind, and what do you do? Seeing
Rosalind,
your killer ensnaring your new friend.
with Rosalind being so small, Aveline is going to essentially just grab her and throw her.
Okay, please make a forceful roll, and you can add a +2 to this because of gloom.
Okay, +2. Oh my.
That's a 5. That's extremely
No,
impressive.
that's plus. That's
that's a
that's
7.
adding the 2.
Wow.
Holy cow!
All right. The Lich does get a roll to oppose you, and I'm gonna say he immediately invokes his hidden power to gain a boost on this because he's gonna need it. And so there's gonna be another +2 on this. He gets a total of 4 against your 7.
No.
So, in this heartbeat moment, you reach out and you just grab Rosalind and tear the sort of dark tendrils away, and they start like sticking to you and like absorbing your life essence, and like they've now gummed you up a little bit. But with your free hand, you lob Rosalind as fast as you can, and then the Lich says, in this final moment, as though time has stood still, he says, "You know, the plan was that when the Lightsworn heroes invaded the Doomhold, that I would puppet you as a zombie. It was meant to be very chilling, and you robbed me of that! You robbed me!"
Well, things don't always start out the way we want them to.
But
It's how they end up that's important.
I couldn't agree more. And as his skull explodes, you all see as you leap off of the edge of this massive platform that Aveline is engulfed in an explosion of green titanic proportions, and she and the Lich are both obliterated from the surface of Mars. And you hear Sparky yell out, "Rosalind, no!" No, Rosalind, she yells out, "Aveline, no!" And this is as the three of you are just falling through the air, falling and falling and falling, heading straight towards the lava. What do you do in this moment to avert doom?
I tried to angle myself where I can catch my friends on the hoverboard, and I use the laser to propel myself towards them.
Damn, that's a lot of things. Okay, why don't we call that flashy because of how absurd it is?
Oh, this is bad. That's a -3.
You fire a laser beam straight through all of your companions and somehow yourself. And you are all going to take 3 points of damage.
Oh my god!
Okay.
I am so sorry.
So if you have your third stress box, you can get rid of that. However, I'm going to invoke the low health debuff that you got earlier, Rosalind, to make that -5 damage.
I don't. Oh no.
So inform me now what the current state of your consequences and stress is.
I can't hear you. My headphones fell off. I'm
No
sorry.
worries. Do you still have a severe consequence you can take?
Yes, I just clicked it.
Okay, I believe that is the only way for you to survive this. If you would like to survive this, you always have the option of just, exploding as well.
Prefer not to explode if that's a choice.
Okay, you're going to take a debuff called Severe Laser Burns. And Stoobs, although that was quite, frankly, disastrous, it opened up it tore through the space-time continuum and yourselves just enough to open up a rift bleed that the three of you fall through, and you suddenly hurtle, leaving just an exploding area of fire and demon bits behind as you enter that familiar dark space, and you take a breath in the moment where you see loading.
Oof.
And moments later, there is this horrible crackling sound like you're in the middle of a terrible lightning storm when the three of you are spewed out onto the ground of the dwarven vault that you once stood in. And as you do so, you look behind you to see the rift bleed just disappear into nothingness. And you have restored significant stability to the area.
Oh, sorry.
And we have all swapped places.
I'm sorry.
You have all reduced the instability by 9 through your actions. So good work, everybody.
I immediately begin mournfully howling.
You're all back in your normal gear again. The familiar pixels of Fantasia here. No more muddy, weird, gross textures anymore. No demons and things spewing every time anything happens. Just this silent, dark cave where you're here now.
Oh,
minus-
so polygons, how I've missed you.
Minus an Aveline. Well, Aveline, I'm afraid you're not here.
Oh, fuck. You're right. I'm dead.
Yeah. And the two of you, it's fair to say you're not entirely certain how the rules of this world work, but you're pretty sure that dying in a rift bleed is not good.
Yeah.
But maybe she'll respawn. There's no guarantee she won't. But it was a very, very brave and noble sacrifice, fitting for the last moments of a mentor.
Can, through the magic of video games, can Aveline, like, leave them with a little note of some cryptic, inspiring words or something?
Absolutely.
Aw.
As the rift bleed closes, there is one item that drops. What is it that they receive?
They get a note, and all it says on it is, "Be a character of excellence, not excuses."
Oh.
Aw.
You can see that Sparky immediately starts crying. Little pixels like running down her face, and she's like, "She was so good. She was so inspirational. I'm gonna miss her so much."
I learned so much.
He
I
was a
feel
good
inspired to
mentor.
go on and beat people up.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know how things work. I'm not gonna pretend like I do, but if I might just say a couple of words. I didn't know Aveline long, but she believed in all of us. And she let us try and grow and learn new skills. I'd never done anything like this before, and now I am really inspired to think that if I work hard enough, I can be a really good poet, no matter what my family says. And Rosalind, you can be an amazing, really powerful fairy, and you saved all your people, and it was amazing. And Stoobs, you're just the best. You're the best little doggy. You're the best. And you're gonna be wonderful. And I think Aveline would be very proud to see that we all did something rather heroic today. And then Sparky says, "Pixels to pixels, bits to bits." And then she just adopts a T-pose in respect. May you respawn
Sorry.
soon, Aveline.
I hope you find that lake you're looking for.
And with that,
Plenty of fish.
you return back to the upper levels of Hamilton, and you return victorious, but without a -1 party member.
Wait, what happened to all the other fairies?
Oh yeah.
The fairies, when they entered this world, they are still kind of like floating around you still. They're in a reduced state, so they're kind of just with you at the moment.
Okay. Do I recognize them? Or are there ones that like aren't that I don't know?
These are, for the most part, you don't necessarily recognize these. It looks like they were harvested, to use a very terrible word, somewhere out in the world at some point.
Okay.
They have an air of genericness around them a little bit, but that doesn't make them any less of a person.
That's
So you kind of drop off Sparky. Although she is, very upset, she does say to you that she is going to write a beautiful, powerful ballad that fully, does justice for the memory of Aveline. And she says she's going to make it. She's going to make it as a poet. She's determined that she will to make Aveline proud. And she wishes you all a heartfelt goodbye, and says if you're ever in Hamilton again, drop by, give you a lantern free of charge.
You know, there is a thing called a skald. Just so you know, and they're kind of like warrior poets. So
I have to admit, I did quite enjoy the fighting along the side of Aveline, but I don't want to give up the poetry. You're saying I could do both? I could do some kind of multi-class?
yeah,
Oh,
I think you'd be a good skald.
I really appreciate that, Stoop. So she goes and just gives you a hug,
Oh,
and just kind of pets your little ears.
I
She-
give her a little smooch, a little lick on the face.
She wipes the tears away from her eyes,
You're gonna be good. You're gonna be okay.
and she says, I'm gonna miss all of you. It was an honor meeting both of you. You're both the most proudest, bravest dwarfs I've ever met.
It was an honor fighting alongside you and blowing things up.
That was really fun the second
It
time.
was really fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was sad, but fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna have weird dreams tonight.
Yeah.
And she returns to her store, and you in turn return to the tavern, and meet up with the Mountain King, or should I say, his retinue, and the royal taster as well. And when you're back, he says, "Ah, you're back. How did it go?"
I feel like I started smoking cigars for 10 years and then I went back and none of that happened.
I don't have
know,
much.
right? I
Sorry.
feel like I had the power of the universe in my paws, and now it's gone.
Your days are very different from mine. All right. Do you have the ore though? Were you
yeah.
successful in your trial of
Oh,
courage?
yes. I
Yes.
drop it.
I
King.
also have an evil sorceress staff. Poop.
Oh, that looks very scary. Please put that away.
Okay.
And the royal taster takes up the ore and he says, "Oh, this is it. This is it. You don't understand. This is a mythical amongst our people. You've done a great service bringing it to us." And he says, my king, look what these great gallant heroes have brought you." And the king turns around and he goes to say his line, but then he stops and he hesitates for a second, and he says, "You have done us a supreme service, light sworn heroes. I am happy to award you with the Earth Orb." And he reaches out his arm and extends it towards you. And there's a bit of sweat on all your faces, just like, what's this gonna do? Is this gonna end the world? Like, what's gonna happen here? And in his hand immediately pops this yellow, beautiful, glistening orb. And from seeing it alone, it turns out that the elemental orbs can be replicated through much strenuous work. And he hands it to you. You have now acquired the elemental orb of Earth. And as it enters not even your inventory, but a new special location of your inventory where there are 7 circles, one of them now filled in, you feel a surge of power, and you hear a beautiful 16-bit fanfare, just and you see it says, "You have acquired the Earth Orb."
Neat.
Did you also feel kind of tingly there?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The taster goes to you and he says, "You done it! You got the orb, and my king, would you like some dinner? Would you like me to test your food?" And the king says, "Yes, make sure you do so, royal taster. I wouldn't have it any other way. Right, on with business." And he just starts walking, going about his day. And the taster says, "My king, one last thing. Now that we have somewhat more control over the situation, could we end the sort of the closing of Hamilton so that these brave heroes can go on their way to hero elsewhere?" And the king kind of looks and says, "Let it be so," and just walks on. And you feel no different, but you get the feeling like previously barred pathways are now open to you. and from there you kind of see that the taster goes up to you and says, "So, you're not really the Light Sworn heroes, but you're a something sworn something, I swear."
We're just a dog and a fairy doing our very best.
Aye, and I'm glad for it. Safe travels, best of luck. Where do you venture next, I wonder?
Where would the Light Sworn heroes go next?
The royal taster thinks for a second. He says, "I believe their next destination was the what was the place called? It was some place. Do you know where the gnomes live?"
Is it Gnomington?
It's don't be absurd. That's a ridiculous name.
Tinkertown?
No, it's not Tinkertown. They went to the Bluster Bluffs, which is where the gnomes reside.
Buster Bluff.
Dress for windy weather. That's the best advice I can give you, because that's literally all I know.
Cool.
Cool. I'm gonna
I'm
go
a
sell an
dog.
evil magic book.
Ah, please put it away. You can see like the entire royal guard just immediately forms a shield wall just surrounding Rosalind with the evil staff out.
Eh,
How much evil stuff did you get? Why?
Look at, we never have any money, so I bought him.
Very good.
I figured we could sell the evil magic staff and the evil magic book.
Should we sell that maybe to the, I don't know, someone who can lock it away or something? I don't know.
I think we should sell it to whoever gives the most money quickest.
Ah, whatever. Okay, yeah, sure.
And with a resigned shake of her furry head, the adorable corgi known as Stoobs follows in the footsteps with a pitter-patter of Rosalind the fairy as they both make their way to the dwarven merchant quarter to sell all their sweet loot that they just acquired, getting ready for the next mission and the next epic tale to be told in Phantasia, wherever that might lead them. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We will see you next time for episode 3. Bum.
Oh my goodness.
Abby, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and bringing
Oh.
Aveline into our lives, short-lived
Thank
as
you
it
so
was.
much for having me. This was so fun.
I hope so. I
Evelyn
hope
was so good. I loved her so much.
Yes.
You overcame creepy things in the dark. You overcame zombies. You overcame demons from literal hell. And you took out your killer as well. Beautiful, just beautiful.
In a moment of brave self-sacrifice.
And I
Couldn't.
hadn't even gone through all my cryptic words of wisdom.
Maybe one day, just floating on the wind, the heroes will hear it once again.
It'll be like, like how characters leave behind notes or voice recordings. It'll
Yeah,
just be
exactly.
cryptic notes.
It's like, hey, I
Take
found out how that
wise
one guy
words.
left such a long note when he died. Here's how he did it. And anyway, here's some advice. Incredible. Our music for tonight was provided by Roll Music from the album Black Dot, Visager from the album Song from an Unmade World and Songs from an Unmade World 2, and Eric Skiff from the album Resistor Anthems. Those can all be found on the freemusicarchive.org under the Creative Commons license CC BY. We're very grateful to be able to use that music. Anything, other announcements or any other things people would like to say before we depart for the evening?
I will do my spiel. Basically, it all boils down to support your local libraries.
Hell yes.
So, everything that's happening, libraries provide a lot of support for different communities, especially for those at risk or on the poverty level. So, it's a great service, part of the American democracy system. Preserve it. Do what you can to help librarians. Also, lots of weird things happening. Save USPS. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
That's another American institution that is ingrained in our democratic system. Please help.
Yep. Be the hero of your own story.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anything else from anybody?
I believe we have our Clockwork Vines game tonight. As far as I know, that's still going on.
Woo.
So make sure to tune in later today for the next episode of Call of Cthulhu Clockwork Vines.
Woo! Sounds spooky, and I love it. All right, well, that's going to be it from us here on Awakened Pixels. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.